topic. Why do men hate women? We're going to get into that. We're going to get into it. So first and foremost, hola, me llamo Jen. Welcome to Sesame Street. On the Block with Jen at Gmail. If you want to share a story with me and you have a story you want me to dissect, okay? Or if you want to collab with me, on the Block with Jen at Gmail. Once again, on the Block with Jen at Gmail. I don't really read junk mail. If you guys are sending me a serious Gmail, I may look at it. If it's if it's regarding a collab, the collab has to make sense for both you and me, right? It has to be beneficial for both of us because we're making money here on YouTube, right? So I'm just not gonna cam up with you to shoot the shit. Also on the Block with Jen on TikTok, on the Block with Jen on Instagram, on the Block with Jen on Facebook. It's on the Block with Jen everywhere. Okay. What's up, veganista? All right, guys. So that is the business. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's get into it. So many things going on. I'm excited about this topic tonight. It's actually something that Haran DeMarco brought to my attention because you guys know we talk a lot behind the scenes and we dissect things and brainstorm. And he brought something to my attention that was really, really interesting about a very beautiful woman. And this just came to mind, right? So that's the topic. But first, have you guys heard about Khalees? Okay, coming for everybody's head, taking heads off. Beyonce, Pharrell, the music business. If you guys haven't heard yet, our milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Okay, is going after Beyonce and more specifically Pharrell because he's a producer on a song on Beyonce's album that's about to drop. It was leaked, but I don't think it's officially dropped yet, right? According to Khalees, Pharrell sampled something off of, Khalees's discography, and she's calling everybody out. And of course, the Beehive, all the people with no lives, right? The Beehive, aka the Beehive, are attacking Khalees online, as you would expect when everybody talks about Beezus, otherwise known not as Jesus, but as Beyonce, right? So she basically saying that this happens all the time in the music business. It's nothing new. Pharrell is at the top of the game for someone who's always stealing shit. She's not lying. Marvin Gaye's estate sued Pharrell and won for $7.2 million because he used the Marvin Gaye sample in the song Blurred Lines. As you guys know, Blurred Lines blew up with him and Robin Thicke. And Marvin Gaye's estate came for that ass. Okay, and they won $7.2 million. So it's not Pharrell's, first rodeo stealing shit. And I believe, Khalees, I believe it happens all the time in the music business, right? The more popular, famous, and the more powerful you are, I think you take somebody's shit and feel like I can do this. Same thing happened one time with what's her name? The white girl with the big tits, Katy Perry. Katy Perry sampled this guy's music. He wasn't in the business. He was trying to get in the business. So he was what people would call a nobody in the business. But that nobody sued Katy Perry and won. You know what I mean? Won big because people think they can just take shit and no one's going to care. No one's going to know. So Khalees came for that ass today. And she's basically like, I don't care what y'all got to say. I don't care about the Beyonce worshipers. This is what happened. I'm saying it. And I'm glad she's saying it because it's 2022. And if you notice, a lot of people are getting blasted in 2022. A lot of the power is crumbling. So, regarding Beyonce, Beyonce's been very, very, very smart businesswoman. I don't know how much of it was innate because she has powerhouses around her, starting with her father, Matthew Knowles, ending with Jay-Z. Those are two very powerful management teams. The way her father orchestrated her career, making sure she's the light-skinned blonde one, flanked by two dark-skinned women who are not as attractive, and I don't know, blow it out your ass if you want to argue with me about who's more attractive, but mainstream attraction, Beyonce was the more attractive one. That's why she was always flanked by Kelly and Michelle, right? They didn't have three Beyoncés up there, okay? They didn't have like Beyonce and Carrie Hilson and give me another beautiful woman. Doja Cat, right? It wasn't a trio of Doja Cat, Hilson or Wilson and Beyonce, right? Matthew Knowles was not going to put three bad bitches there. He was going to put Beyonce in the middle, light skin and blonde, and the two darker skinned women who were skinny and not as voluptuous. That way, there's always a frame about, around Beyonce, and she always stands out, right? It's like that saying, when a guy gets rich, now the baddest bitch is the average bitch, right? Because now he's around beautiful women all the time. But if you take one beautiful woman and you throw her in the average neighborhood, she's going to stand out. And that was really how Matthew Knowles orchestrated a lot of Beyonce's marketing, a lot of Beyonce's fame. Let's not act stupid. Let's not be dumb just to be dumb, like I say, right? So I believe that, she took the sample, probably didn't care where it came from, probably knew, didn't give a fuck. According to Khalees, Beyonce has done it with her music before. Beyonce has sampled other music before. And I think Beyonce's a smart woman, right? She knows where things come from. She's meticulous, right? She's very successful. And you would think that she would know. And if she didn't know, Pharrell definitely knew. Though he will deny it, because he literally denied that he didn't know that sample he used for Blurred Lines was from a Marvin Gaye song. And if you hear the two songs next to each other, it is more than obvious. I'm talking to the average ear, not even a musical ear, but to the average ear, you hear Marvin Gaye song, you hear Blurred Lines, it's the same fucking beat, it's the same music. But according to Pharrell, he would never take anything from anybody without knowing, right? According to him, but it was obvious. If we can hear it, he heard it. He's a producer. He's been in the music game a long time. The man studies music, became wealthy off of music. So he knew. So I'm not surprised that Khalees is saying this. I'm glad she's saying it. I think everybody should fight for theirs. So fuck them all. Beyonce is smart to where that she's never, ever, ever replied to controversy. And it's worked in her favor, right? Because she is on top of the game, right? She is, whether we like Beyonce's music or not. And I think she's okay. Like, I've never bought an album, but then again, I've never bought a Jennifer Lopez album or Ricky Martin album. I'm not big on buying albums. I rarely buy albums. I bought the Weeknd's album one time, and I think Lil Wayne many, many years ago. I'm not an album buyer, so I don't have a dog in the fight. I enjoy music on the radio and on YouTube, but I'm just not one that's going to give a pop star my money. I just don't. Very cynical. I'm not adding to your empire so then you can get on a track and talk about the empire that I helped you get. So sorry, I am not that girl. So I rarely contribute to pop stars' wealth. That's just me. If it's on the radio and it's on YouTube, why the fuck am I buying it, right? I don't really buy music like that. So, when you think about it, Beyonce has been smart in the sense where she doesn't reply to controversy. She doesn't reply to shade. She doesn't reply to beef, because she knows she has an army of idiots that are going to go after whoever talks about her. And they're very, very vitriolic. They bully people online. They're very negative. They're abusive, right? And Beyonce knows that. She's not an idiot. You know what I mean? She's not a complete and utter idiot. She knows that happens. And I think someone who was really humble and really sweet would speak out to this mob, right? That's doing evil in your name, because they are doing evil in her name. They are abusive. They do bully, and that's bad. And I think, anybody would see that, would see a group of people abusing other people. And if they really cared about people, they would say, hey, don't do that in my name. Don't attack people for me. Selena Gomez has done it. You know what I mean? Like, don't attack people for me. Do not attack people in my name. But, a lot of celebrities, not just Beyonce, but like, Rihanna has the Navy. Mariah Carey has the Lambs, right? So they're very proud of these mobs. The pop stars, these celebrities are very proud of these mobs that they have. They're flying monkeys, so to speak, who just fly out and attack anything that disagrees with them, or doesn't, or comments on them or critiques them. They're very proud of these mobs. That's why they don't say shit about it, right? It's like having thousands of bodyguards and you're not paying any of them, and it blows smoke up their ass, I guess. So I'm all for Khalees. I agree with her 110%. If someone's stealing your shit or using your shit because they think they have more power or more clout, call them out, right? Now, and I'm glad that she's doing it, because when people get powerful in this business, music business, entertainment business in general, whether it's the film business, music business, it doesn't matter. These people feel untouchable and they feel like they can do whatever they want. I don't care if it's a man or a woman. And you're like, oh, I love Mariah Carey. I love Beyonce. Most of them are fucking bitches, okay? Hardcore, stone cold bitches who don't give a fuck about the little people, right? If you notice, that's why Beyonce has never addressed the Beehive. She's never even thanked the Beehive. I saw one time she had like a little like toy on her face, like with two bees. I guess that was her way of saying, hey, bees, I see you, I guess. But, you know, she's never directly addressed them at all. They don't fucking care. Like they don't care, right? They're gonna do them. They're gonna get rich. And if you worship them, even better. You know, but they're about their business. And honestly, I don't feel sorry for fans. I don't feel sorry for overzealous fans. I don't feel so. And that's why when you meet these motherfuckers in the elevator and they like, get away from me, no pictures, you're crying about it online, talking about, I met Katy Perry and she's an asshole. I met Mariah Carey and she was mean to me. Good for your fucking ass, because you think that these people are regular people and they're not. They're ruthless. You don't get to $1 billion by being nice. You don't get to $1 billion by being nice to people, okay? So when you meet them and your little hopes and dreams and desires of them being this wonderful person that you heard on that album, crumbles, good for your fucking ass. So good for Khalees. I'm glad that she's speaking out. Speak out, mama. I support her 100%. Fuck Pharrell. He's done it before. He got sued by Marvin Gaye's estate for doing the same shit and then played dumb. Like, oh, I was that Marvin Gaye song. Me and Robin Thicke had no idea. And the judge was like, okay, so you no idea your ass in the amount of $7.2 million, okay? That's what your ignorance is going to cost you. $7.2 million fucking dollars. Pay the piper. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to talk about this groupie love that's gone really, really bad. What am I talking about? I have some visuals for you today. I got some visuals for you today because I notice it's happening more and more where these beautiful video vixens are either strung out on drugs now, right? Or dying from AIDS, right? And they all have this long list of celebrity males that they were hanging with and sexing with and partying with, right? The very latest one, this young lady named Gina 2. I don't know if you guys have heard, but I am going to give you a visual right now. This young woman, Gina 2, 28 years old, who's been linked to Chief Keef, Nick Cannon, and Chris Brown, who are, as you know, are serial baby daddies. What do I mean by serial baby daddies? Exactly what it sounds like. Men who are having babies all over the place with different women. Now, you would think a man in that position would be smarter, but it seems the more money they get, the more stupid they get. So Nick Cannon, Chief Keef, and Chris Brown are all multiple baby serial daddies. And this woman, Gina 2, who has come out and said, I have AIDS and I almost died of AIDS, she's connected to those 3 men. Now, I will say this. She hasn't said if she slept with any of them. What she said was, if and I did, I wouldn't say no names. That's what she said. But there are plenty of pictures of her online running around with these cats, talking about, hey, I just left Chief Keef. Now I'm about to go hang out with Nick Cannon. This is my life. So the girl is in, you know what I mean, rotating the business. And I want y'all to pause before y'all start with the she's a hoe, she's a groupie, she's a slut, she's a bitch. Because to me, it takes 2 to tango. And if those men are laying with her, the quote unquote hoe, the groupie, then they're equally yoked. Okay, I think we let guys off the hook too damn much. If you are laying with that groupie and that quote unquote hoe, there's something about her where you felt, sticking my penis in this makes sense, right? So just so we're clear, Chief Keef has 9 children from 9 different women. Nick Cannon, he's up to 8. from a couple different women. I don't know how many, 6, 7 women, right? He has 8. Chief Keef has 9 from 9 different women. Chris Brown is up to 3 from random women. Okay, he's having babies with random women. None of them are his girlfriend or his wife. He's just like boop, boop, popping them out. So these are the type of guys that this Gina 2 was hanging with, right? So it begs the question, did they sleep with her, and did they sleep with her unprotected? Now listen, if you ask me, the majority of these celebrities got something, whether it's herpes, whether it's AIDS, whether it's chlamydia, whether it's gonorrhea, they have something. There is no way that a man can have children with abandon, which means he's not using a rubber, is not going to slide up in a groupie without a condom too. It's just their lifestyle. It is what they do, right? They're wealthy men. They feel untouchable. They feel like it's not going to happen to me, right? So Gina 2 has had AIDS, she said her doctor told her, for 10 years. Okay, that is what she said the doctor told her. The only reason she found out that she had AIDS was because she almost died, lost like 65 pounds, was coughing, feeling fever, went to the doctor. Doctors checked her and was like, baby girl, you got AIDS. And not only do you have AIDS, but you've had it for around about a decade. Because as you know, no one talks about AIDS anymore. It's all about the COVID. But AIDS is still out there. HIV is still out there. And the majority of people, 99.9% of the people, don't have that Magic Johnson money, right, to get rid of the monster, as we used to call him back in the 90s. AIDS used to be called the monster. He got the monster. She got the monster, right? So, this girl doesn't have the money Magic Johnson has. So Magic Johnson has. So now she has to live with this AIDS thing. She's on a lot of medication. And some way, somehow she's surviving. But this is the girl that ran around with the Chief Keefs and the Chris Browns and the Nick Cannons. And, as loose as them guys are with their dicks, we don't know who they stick it in or when or how many times, right? And she's a very pretty girl. Like, she's not as attractive as she used to be, obviously, because now she's, skin and bone. But she's coming back from it. She's trying to at least live with it, right? Because there's no cure for AIDS, unfortunately. So she is living with this. So let me see if I can find, because I do have the video, and there's a video I wanted to share with you. Okay, so this is Gina 2. If you go to her social media page, it's Gina 2. It's Gina, Gena for Gina. It's Gena. And then her last name 2 is Tew. So it's Gina 2. She's a waif. She's skin and bones. And she's talking about her journey through it. She said that she's not going to name names. You know what I mean? I guess it's cool that she's protecting their identity. It's probably better for her that she does, right? So this is what she looked like going through her AIDS thing. She is wearing a diaper. I'll put the volume up for you guys. But I really want to show you that these are the women that a lot of these rappers and singers, these are the women that they're passing around.
2, 3. Push through those legs. Come on, push. Stand up. Push through those legs. Come on, do it. Push those legs. Anyway, not bad. Not bad at all.
Okay, she also said she doesn't know. A lot of people are asking her who gave her the AIDS, right? She's saying that she does not know, and you cannot know. You cannot. When you get a disease, you don't know. If you're sleeping around with different celebrities, you don't know who gave it to you. She's saying that she was raped twice in New York City. She's also saying that she's gotten tattoos with dirty needles. I don't know how she knew the needle was dirty, but she's saying that she got tattoos from dirty needles. And she's also, done her thing, lived her life, a 28-year-old young woman running around, with celebrities. So who knows where she got it from? Who knows? But if it's been lying dormant in her for 10 years and she's 28, do the math, She's had it since she was a teenager, right? So I guarantee whether Chris Brown, Chief Keef, or Nick Cannon, or whatever other rapper, whatever other singer, whatever other actor, I guarantee they call their doctor the next day because this woman's story is going viral, right? And it's just reminiscent of when Eazy-E died, and a bunch of women in LA ran out to get, an AIDS test because they had slept with Eazy-E. So, this can happen. AIDS is still around, right? Unfortunately, for a lot of people out there slinging, their sexual organs, the news is not shoving it down your throat. So there's this, this veil of safety, right? A safe sex, right? Random safe sex. And she's right that the doctor can't tell her who she got it from. She was sexually assaulted. She did get dirty tattoos. She ran around with these rappers and singers and actors for 10 years. Who knows, right? But I guarantee they're at the clinic this week on pins and needles waiting for their results. With that said, like I said before, I think a lot of them celeb dudes are carrying diseases they can't get rid of. Remember, Usher was outed for allegedly having herpes and giving it to a woman. I think a lot of these celebrities are running around diseased because they sling their body parts with abandon. Even when Pop Smoke, rest in peace, Pop Smoke, the night he was murdered, he was held up in his Airbnb with some Russian, prostitute groupie. The night he was killed, that's where he was found. Kevin Samuels, he was dead. Some freaking random alleged prostitute, groupie in his room. So these guys are constantly doing this, picking up women and bringing them back, picking up women and bringing them back. And some of them just become a favorite and hang around in these crowds. So I can't even say be careful because we know that people aren't going to be careful. They're going to live balls to the wall. They're going to live at full throttle. So it's whatever. Vaya con Dios for my religious people. I'm not religious, but I'll say vaya con Dios. Here's another woman, Cubana Lust, who was very, very famous and popping, I guess, back in the 90s. I don't remember her. Maybe you guys remember her because, fellas, you guys were into ass and tits your whole lives and you remember women more than women will remember women. But that is Cubana Lust on the left, and that is also her on the right. That is her on the right, right? So it's another testament to what happens to these women in this business. Here is another one. Her name is, I believe, Susie, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Susie Perez, who was also on and popping and running around with Bad Boy and all them, and all them early videos in the boats and the cars with the champagne popping. So that's Susie Perez on the left and Susie Perez on the right. Now, at least Susie Perez, last I checked, is rehabbing, but it's a testament to these girls running around in these industries getting used up and spit out, right? And these men go on with their lives and their wives and their money. And these are the stories that are not talked about, right? We talk about the success stories a lot, and I think that's very dangerous for young women because it's very dangerous for young women because the groupie life, the quote unquote hip hop hoe, the video vixens, the girls that do end up being the girlfriend or claimed by the rapper or the actor or the singer, it looks glamorous on the outside, right? When you think of an Amber Rose, you're thinking, oh my God, all I got to do is hang out with a rapper and I may be able to be the girlfriend of somebody like Kanye. There was an episode of the Kardashians where, some bimbo was telling Kim, just imagine if you were Kanye's baby mama. That would be like really cool. Like, forget you're bringing a whole child into the world that you got to raise. These bitches were literally discussing it like it would just be cool to be Kanye West's baby's mother. And this was before they even were in a relationship or anything. So a lot of women think like this. They think it's going to be glamorous to get involved with one of these guys. But 9 times out of 10, these women are getting chewed up and spit out, like the pictures that I showed you, right? And, by no means, and I'm saying, oh, shed a tear for them. They're adults. They get to make their own decisions. I'm just saying, I'm pointing it out that it is not glamorous, right? For every Cardi B success story, there are thousands of strippers who end up strung out, who end up dead, who end up in abusive relationships and they can't get out of, who end up broke and poor and destitute. Like for every Cardi B, they're not telling you the stories of those thousands and thousands of women that fail really badly chasing that lifestyle, right? Nobody's talking about that. So those women, it's just really, really sad to see how they've turned out. Like I said, Susie Perez is rehabbing. I don't know what's going on with Cubana Lust. But even if you guys remember, Maya Campbell, she was on that show with LL Cool J. She ended up, you know what I mean, strung out. She had mental issues. Lark Voorhees from Saved by the Bell, she ended up, you know what I mean, strung out and looking crazy. So ladies, cuídate. Take care of yourself, okay? So moving on. Yes, thank you so much, Dorothy Brown. Hit that like button and that subscribe. If you're here for the first time, welcome. I'm going to get into the topic. And it's a hot button topic, right? Because I straight out am asking, why do men hate women, right? And I know the knee-jerk reaction from men is probably going to be like, we don't hate women, we hate the bitches, right? Or whatever. Or the single baby mamas that are ruining the community, right? There's always some disclaimer, right? But no, when you can sit on a panel and on a show and talk about women with such vitriol and animosity, right? It's deep. It's deeper than that one lady that broke your heart and took you to court for child support because you were a deadbeat. It's deep. It's deeper than that, right? So I'm gonna play a video for you guys. Another video. Beautiful woman. Okay, you can look at her. She's stunning. There's nothing wrong with her, right? She's gonna talk to a guy who's insisting she can't have it all. If you guys know, I spoke about that before on my last stream. It seems that if you have preferences, it's a 4-letter word. It is forbidden for you to have preferences because there is a myriad of people lining up to tell you what you can't have and why your preferences make 0 sense. You are not to want anything. You are not to prefer anything. You take what you can get and shut the fuck up, right? That's what people will have you believe, that now we live in a society where you are not allowed preferences. How dare you, right? That's the society we live in now, right? You can't want anything. You take this gut and you take this broke guy and you take this guy on parole and you take it and you love him and you fucking go on with your life, right? We cannot have preferences, right? And Haran DeMarco brought something to my attention. He's had an epiphany. And I liked his epiphany because it's something, you know, as a woman that I've been known. But I like when men have this epiphany. And I'm going to bring him up so he can talk about his epiphany, right? But I want to show this woman because no matter how accomplished and beautiful she is, she's not even allowed her preferences, right? First, the excuse was, well, you're a fat lady, so you can't have that man you want, right? And then it's, well, you're over 40, you hit the wall, so you can't have the man you want, lady. And then it's, you have 2 children. Well, you can't have the man you want, lady, right? So it doesn't matter. As long as it has a vagina and a preference, it is forbidden for it to have preferences, right? You cannot have a vagina and a preference. Pick a struggle, bitch. That's what men will have you believe, that if you have a vagina and a preference, you pick a struggle. And they usually want you to just pick the vagina and just give away the vagina to whoever's asking for it, right? That seems to be the theme, you know, in our current environment. You have a vagina, you give it away to whoever the fuck wants it. To hell with your preferences, right? And here's my thing. There's a difference between a woman can't get her preferences and you don't qualify for her preferences, and that's why you're mad. Did you hear what I just said? There's a difference between telling a woman, you can't have that, and I don't qualify for that. So what I'm going to do is throw a little pimp game on you, okay? And let me tell you, men aren't the only ones that do this. The strategy they're using with women is the same shit that your scared mama does when she don't want you, you know, to leave the home because, you know, she's never traveled. She's afraid for, you know, relatives to leave her. She doesn't want to be alone. It's the same thing that envious best friend does to you. Like, you gonna talk to him? He ain't all that, knowing that the guy is possibly a good guy, right? It's the same thing your coworkers do. Like, oh, you tell your coworker, I'm gonna go be an entrepreneur. I'm gonna quit this job, and they're like, oh, entrepreneurship is hard. You're never gonna make it. Like, that's crazy. There's so much competition. So men use the same strategy. You got a preference? You want to be happy? Well, you over 40. That's impossible. You want to be happy? You have a preference? Well, you're fat. So that's impossible. You have 2 children. You want to be happy? Well, you have 2 children. That's impossible. So that's what men are doing. Men do not qualify for the majority of the preferences these women have. So what have we seen? What have we seen? Your degree don't mean shit. The fact that you look young, but you're not, don't mean shit. The fact that you have children, but you take care of all of them financially on your own, and you don't need a man to help you, that don't mean shit. Oh, lady, you make 6 figures, you got your own home, your own car, that don't mean shit. You still gonna die alone, right? I think it's phenomenal. It is literally the same fucking technique that pimps use and relatives and friends when they are afraid of you. What? Surpassing them. That is what they do. It is fear out loud. See, most people prior to social media, they used to just seethe. They used to just seethe. They used to just watch people succeed. And they used to be like, oh, I wish I had that man. Or, oh, I wish I had that woman. Or, oh, I wish I had that car. Oh, I wish I had that job. Oh, I wish I got that promotion. Oh, I wish I could be on that vacation. That was prior to social media, right? But if you listen to men, a lot of men, well, he gave us the boys. YouTube gave us the boys. We never had a voice prior to YouTube and Kim Samuels. YouTube gave us the boys. Now hear us roar, right? And with that voice, what have we heard them say to women? You're not this, you're not that, you're not qualified to get this, your preferences suck, you're gonna die alone, you're fat, you hit the wall, you're overage, you have too many children, right? And that to me sounds like hate. So I asked the question, why do men hate women? Why do men hate women? Do they hate women because they can't have women? Do they hate women because they see women are in a better position than them? Do they hate women, especially pretty women, beautiful women, because they know they don't qualify? What does a woman's preferences have to do with a man that doesn't qualify is the question. If you don't qualify, right? If a woman is saying, I want a man who makes 6 figures, and you don't make 6 figures, you don't make 6 figures, what does that have to do with the woman she wants? That's what I want to know. If you don't make 6 figures, you do not speak here. I love that part in Avatar, right? When Sute, played by Laz Alonso, he was the blue avatar. He was the guy who liked Zoe Saldana's avatar, right? And Jake Sully tried to come in and speak. He was like, you do not speak here. You are not one of us. You do not speak here. So if you are a man who's camming up and you don't make 6 figures, who the fuck are you to tell a woman that she can't get 6 figures? A beautiful, accomplished woman. A beautiful, accomplished woman with options. So before these guys were able to hide. Why were they able to hide? Because they were hiding behind women that weren't what I call mainstream attractive, right? The average at best, so to speak, right? Is she busted and beat up in the face? I didn't think so. But is she Halle Berry? No. Therefore, she is not mainstream attractive. So men, it was easy for them to hide their vitriol and hate for women behind an average at best. But now it's spilling over to beautiful, accomplished women. And you're going to see in the video I'm showing you, where a man is literally telling this beautiful, accomplished woman with 2 kids, okay? Hair's right, body's right, children are fed and taken care of. This motherfucker is online telling her to her face, you can't have it all. You can't have it all. Does that not sound like someone who is inadequate, fearful, and mad that she's actually in a position to have it all? That's what it sounds like to me. And you know what that feels like. You have those negative parents. You have those negative friends where you had a goal or a desire or your eye on somebody. Oh, please, hey, you ain't gonna get that. That ain't even worth nothing. No one makes it out of here. Men are now doing that to women, but it's not working. You know why? And women, I'm gonna put something on you, okay? Women got men thinking, because they're always talking about rings and look, don't come for me. Don't come for me. Women have men thinking that all we ever wanted was a ring and a husband and a picket fence and a puppy and a recipe book. That is what we all want. I want a husband and a picket fence and a puppy and a recipe book. And I'm going to be so happy. Right? That's what these lame fucks think, that it's the 1950s and that's what all women want. And listen to this. This is going to be free game, fellas. Listen to this. Because you know I'm always giving y'all free game and y'all don't fucking take it. Y'all run on other panels and talk about women ain't shit. Right? Instead of taking this free game. Okay? The majority of women think that they want marriage. You forget that 70% and growing, 70% of divorces are filed by women who want out of marriage. Not 70% of men, not 70% of men, it ain't y'all. 70% of women want you the fuck out their life. 70%. And it hasn't gone down. 70% and growing. And I told y'all before, if you don't evolve with women, you're going to evaporate. You're going to stay online, a big angry ogre, right? Going your own way with 100 other angry motherfuckers in the chat agreeing with you who went their own way, having the circle jerk of how bad women are. That's what's going to happen to you if you don't evolve. Because the woman of today, oh, and these young girls, salute to my young girls in their 20s and in their 30s. Salute, mama, because I'm loving what I'm seeing, okay? Let me tell you what the women want now. They want the bag. They don't give a fuck about the word gold digger. They don't give a fuck about the word hoe. They don't give a fuck about the word slut, because men used to try to diminish them with that. You hoe, you slut, nobody want you. They think this is like back in the 80s, the scarlet letter. You're a hoe. Nobody cares. You know why nobody cares? Because these women are in high demand. Okay? Wealthy men, rich men, the rappers, the athletes, they're just waiting their turn for these women. And I know what you guys are going to say. You guys are going to say, but they're not wifing them. But that Brittany Renner not a wife though. I know that's what y'all thinking. But Amber Rose, she ain't a wife. She's single. I mean, they want to fuck them, but they don't want no wife. Y'all are fucking delusional. Women want the bag. And some good dick every now and then. But best believe that the priority is the bag. And some good dick every now and then. That is what women want, and more and more and more and more women are wanting it. And that's why your hate is growing and growing and growing, but you can't do shit about it. Your smart motherfucker would evolve. He would get the fuck away, okay, and go his own way from all the motherfuckers that went their own way. The defeatist ones, the ones that refuse to go to the fucking gym, the ones that refuse to improve their income, the ones that are still beating off to the hookers on Grand Theft Auto. If you have any hope, you better get the fuck away and go your own way from them dudes. Because them dudes are going to fucking dissolve on social media. Because women want the fucking bag and some good dick every now and then. So when you look at someone like Brittany Renner or Amber Rose. You're like, yeah, she get paid. Living their best fucking lives. Brittany Renner just gave birth to a cash register. She just gave birth to a cash register. Now she has athlete numbers, child support. You think a Brittany Renner give a fuck about you? She a hoe. She ain't getting waived. She gets to shop, which women love to do. She gets to have all you guys talking about her. You literally made Brittany Renner a quote unquote hoe, a celebrity. And men did that. Women didn't do that. Women didn't do that. Men did that. Y'all made Amber Rose famous. She took the word slut and made it into a parade. These women don't care anymore. And y'all are going to get angrier and angrier, or you can evolve. Or you will evaporate. You will evaporate. So the cat's out the bag, right? No, you're fat. You can't get it. No, you got kids. You can't get it. You're beautiful. You're accomplished. You got your own money. You can't get it neither. Right? She can't get it, right? You can't get it neither. So I'm going to show you this woman. I'm going to show you how ridiculous the hate that men have for women has gotten. Okay? I'm going to show you how ridiculous the hate that men have for women has gotten. Okay? Just because you don't qualify for a woman's preferences doesn't mean that she can't get those preferences. Okay? I'm going to show you this video. MH says, may I serve you, mistress? You sure the hell fucking can. Cash App, OnTheBlockWithJen. You see it scrolling right here on the bottom? So to MH, he said, may I serve you? Yeah. Put some money in my motherfucking Cash App, since you want to serve me. All right, guys. So I'm going to play this video for you. And here's another thing. You still single though. So how's that working out? It's working out lovely. I do whatever the fuck I want. I make money and don't have to share it with a motherfucker who needs a 50-50 and a struggle buddy. I go to the gym 3 times a week. I drink plenty of water. I'm beautiful for 48, okay? Okay, no filter, right? I'm healthy. My hair is long. It's working out lovely. And I know I look better than the last thing you sweated on. So it's working out lovely for me. But you tell me, supervillain, how's being single working out for you while you sit in my chat watching me? How's being single working out for you? Because I'm not on your channel looking at you. You're here looking at me. So being single is I don't know, it's lovely over here. I wake up when I want. I go to sleep when I want. I go work. I get paid. I don't got to split it with some motherfucking lame who needs 50-50 because he can't afford to pay his own bills, or a motherfucker who got 3 baby mamas and child support up the ass so he can't take me on a date. See, I'm chilling. I got a phone full of contacts of high value men. And if I ever, hey, I don't feel like having a filet mignon alone tonight, such and such, I can call. I can say, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Let's hang out. Let's go skating. So this is the best time of my life. But you tell me, supervillain, what are you doing? Because again, it's not about my preferences or my lifestyle. It's that you don't fit and you don't qualify. 1, the men I know would not fuck with you. 2, I wouldn't fuck with you. So again, I say like Sute and Avatar, you do not speak here. Like, you do not speak here. You don't qualify. Like, you just don't qualify. And that's okay. But no one's ever told you that you don't fucking qualify. And that's the problem with a lot of these cats online. Like, you don't qualify for the questions you're asking. If you're telling a woman that she can't have a 6-figure man, you have to be in the 6 figures. If you're telling a woman that she hit the wall, you better be fine. But the problem with y'all is y'all are never fine. Y'all are never making 6 figures. Y'all don't have a fucking network of men that are taking care of their business. Y'all don't qualify. And it's weird. Y'all are weird. Y'all are weird. Y'all, it is literally like I'm gonna just throw out something stupid because this is how stupid y'all sound, okay? This is how stupid y'all sound. It is as stupid as you see a motherfucking heart surgeon cut a woman open. Let me fix her heart. And one of you bum motherfuckers walks in with the Cheeto stains on your t-shirt, right? With your fucking PlayStation controller, and you're like, hey, I see you putting that vessel there. That vessel don't go over there. That's how stupid y'all sound, talking about men and women that you don't qualify to even be around. Do you know the only reason you're this close to me is because I have a YouTube channel? Do you know in real life that would never happen? That's another thing that has y'all fucked up. That you think because you can log on and see me that y'all could really be around me. That's just here, right? So then y'all get to talking like this is real life. YouTube is not real life. I don't know you in real life, honey, nor would I know you in real life. This is not real. It's an illusion. It's a fun one. It's hella fun, but it's not real. It's as real as them hookers you're lusting over in Grand Theft Auto. It's not real. It's virtual. It's a whole fucking virtual world. So be very, very careful when you ask me, how's that working out for me? Because Jen is lovely, okay? Jen is lovely. No cap, no front. I'm chilling. I can do whatever I want with whoever I want, when I want, how I want, and look good doing it. So you asking the wrong one. Go ask your mama how's her single life working out for her. Because I guarantee not very well. Okay? Otherwise, she wouldn't have a son hanging out in the chat asking women, how's that working out for you? You should be over there fixing her yard or her washing machine or taking her flowers. If she's no longer with us, taking flowers to her grave. You shouldn't be here, but you're here. So y'all weird. But okay, let's continue. Hit that like and subscribe for me, you guys. So happy you are here. Yes, I am a robot, King KO. I'm a motherfucking robot. I am AI. I am AI. All right, guys. So I'm gonna play this video for you because this is how ridiculous men hating women online is getting. You tell me. And Haran has more details on this woman than I do. This is just a very short clip. But he has more details on like what she's doing and things like that. Thank you guys for being here. Mwah. This is so much fun. I'm gonna drop the link so whoever wants to come up can come up. Also, I'm gonna start giving out more wrenches. Sorry guys, I haven't been doing that, but my ladies need some wrenches because these dudes, if they even talk sideways to y'all, get them the fuck out of here, like the Star Report says. Get them the fuck out of here. Do not let these dudes disrespect you in the chat. It is not that type of party. I do not need them here. I don't need them here at all. These dudes are like they're like puppies. So you got to roll up the newspaper and pop every now and then. Just every now and then, pop, because they're used to disrespecting women. 9 times out of 10, they have sisters and mothers they don't respect, and they think that they can take that out in the world. Okay? Pero aquí tú tienes que bregar. All right? I'm not having that here. So let me play this lady for y'all. I hope I better have saved it. If I didn't save it, I'm gonna be mad. I better have saved it. I'm gonna be so fucking pissed. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. Get a drink, refill your water, get you a little snack. I'm not gonna keep you out here all night, I promise you. But I really wanted to share this beautiful woman with you, and you know, something that I was discussing with Haran. This is very important. Is this it? Is this it? Is this it? And then we can, yes, okay, here it is. Okay, so what happened was I did email it to myself. But apparently I didn't load it. I only loaded little mama getting up from the bed with AIDS. Okay, that sucks. Give me 2 seconds, loves. I am going to grab this real quick. Please don't go nowhere. I will be right with you. And my ladies, I know y'all need some freaking wrenches. Get rid of some of these crabs crawling up in the chat. Don't play with me. Y'all gonna respect over here. Y'all go to one of them angry man channels to talk about women over there. All right, guys, let me grab this clip for you. I'm gonna be back in a couple secs. Okay, guys, I got it. Let me know if you can hear me okay, because I did step away. You know the sound gets crazy. Let me know. Haran, I'm dropping the link. And while I'm Haran, when I bring you up while you talk, I'm gonna give some of the ladies some wrenches. How's it sound, guys, before I play this woman? Okay, great. Thank you, Morena. All right, so I'm gonna play this woman. Before I play this, I want you to hear the way the man that's talking to her, how he's trying to persuade her, right? He is persuading her. You can hear the voice inflections like, oh my God. I want you to hear how he's talking to this woman. And then Haran's going to come up and talk about how accomplished this woman actually is. Thank you, Foxy Moon. All right, guys. But listen to how he's talking to her like, it's impossible that you feel good about yourself like this. This is what men are doing all over the place on social media and off. This is the language I got to look out for, ladies. He's trying to convince you. It's the same thing your friends do. It's the same thing your parents do. How are you going to do that? It's impossible. How are you going to open up a restaurant? How are you going to... How are you gonna be an entrepreneur? That's great. He's using the same inflection, the same type of persuasion, telling this woman what she can and can't do, right? Yeah, I know, Foxy. I read typo. All right, so let me play this woman. And Haran, you can come up after this. Matter of fact, let me drop the link so Haran could come up, because he did drop this on me, and I thought it was very interesting. Very interesting. Can't see. Is Ax Nathaniel still here? I thought I saw him pop up. Haran and anybody else who wants to jump up, my ladies especially, Anybody else want to jump up on the panel with that link? Feel free to do so while I play this video for you guys. Okay. Brandon Franks, thank you for the super chat, sir. He says, you are beautiful, Jen, but quit giving pretty girl game to regular looking people. You know you get more latitude. I said, sir, I said that men are now using this across the board with all women. Okay, across the board. So even with my latitude, they think they could diminish me, and they cannot. But I'm just using it as an example to show these motherfuckers are delusional. And I'm calling it out. But thank you for the super chat. The guy that said he wanted to be my, I don't know, he wanted me to be his mistress hasn't cash apped me yet. Were you capping, sir? Because I would gladly punch you in the mouth for a cash app. I'm with it. I could be a dominatrix. Let's get it. I will gladly punch you in the mouth for a cash app. Thank you, Necessary Evil, for the super chat. She said, the emotional men in here tonight further proves the topic for tonight. Whoever hurt you, let it go, son. I'm gonna start giving out some wrenches. I promise. I see the gentleman in the back, so I'm gonna let them. I'm gonna let them up, and then I'll take care of the wrenches. I want to play this right before I let the gentleman up, so they know what I'm talking about. Okay. So here's a woman. I don't know her name, but the guy keeps calling her V. So
I can have it all. Everything that I want, I can have.
V, you are in your 30s with 2 kids.
Yes.
You can have it all?
Yes.
I don't care what's happening on your Instagram. Brittany Renner can't have it all.
I can have it all.
How you figure that?
Oh, I'm not asking for too much.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. And I feel like what is so crazy is that the standard for men is so low, but the standard for women is so high.
Wait a minute. You put an income standard on us. You think that's low? All you have to do is keep excess body fat off of you.
But a man can come to you and say that he wants X, Y, Z, and it's accepted. But the woman utters the fact that she wants X, Y, Z. Oh no, baby, lower your standards. You have 2 kids. My dating pool is just smaller, but my standards are not lower.
can I just play that for you just one more time? I want you to listen to the pitch in his voice. And Haran said, first of all, why are the voices of these men always so fucking shrill? Why don't they have any fucking bass in their voice? Why do these men always sound like, you think you can have it all? What do you say? What, is this a fucking Dr. Seuss movie? Why do all these guys sound the same? Why? Haran said he has a theory of why they have shrill voices. And I think it's pretty good. But why? I want you to hear, once again, listen to him trying to persuade this woman that she ain't shit. Beautiful, accomplished, nice body, okay? Boobs from what I can see, beautiful hair, beautiful complexion, okay? Nothing physically wrong with her from what I can see. But look at how he's trying to convince her that she's average at best.
I can have it all. Everything that I want, I can have.
V, you are in your 30s with 2 kids.
Yes.
You can have it all?
Yes.
I don't care what's happening on your Instagram. Brittany Renner can't have it all.
I can have it all.
How you figure that?
Oh, I'm not asking for too much.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. And I feel like what is so crazy is that the standard for men is so low, but the standard for women is so high.
Wait a minute. You put an income standard on us. You think that's low? All you have to do is keep excess body fat off of you.
But a man can come to you and say that he wants X, Y, Z, and it's accepted. But the woman utters the fact that she wants X, Y, Z. Oh no, baby, lower your standards. You have 2 kids. My dating pool is just smaller, but my standards are not lower.
Okay, so I'm gonna let the gentleman up. I'm gonna give out these wrenches in case these dudes are acting the monkey ass fool in my chat. You will be blocked. Okay, I can't have my eyes on everything. But you emotional fucktards, y'all will be blocked, and you'll be forced to watch me without commenting. And I know you're gonna come back and watch because y'all all do. but you won't be able to comment. All right, guys. So I'm gonna let up Haran DeMarco.
Hey, what's
Series
poppin'?
Good evening.
David!
Good evening.
Hello.
Hey,
What's poppin'?
it's good to see you guys. Okay, yeah, I'm no cap. Y'all are some of my best commentators. Y'all
Can we be your enforcers too?
What do you mean? Wait, what are you enforcing? Let me know
Yeah.
first.
No, if people act up in your chat.
Yes, I'm giving out wrenches today, okay? I'm giving out wrenches today. And I have a feeling while Haran is talking, I could do that because Haran like to talk. So I'll have some time to give out some wrenches. I haven't given out wrenches, and I know my chat needs wrenches. And I don't mind, listen, I don't mind, let's just be clear. I don't mind the back and forth. I don't mind the disagreeing. But anybody harassing anybody in the chat or calling me or any other women out their name, like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to train you guys in the chat to behave. I don't have a newspaper here, so we're going to do it with the block button, okay? All right. So, gentlemen, I don't know how much of my rant you heard, but I'm going to be sifting through the chat while one of you, I don't know who wants to go first, maybe Haran, because he's the one that dropped this on me. And I found it's pretty much profound because he said he had an epiphany where it's like, hold up, men are saying this to all women. Doesn't matter if they're not attractive or attractive. It doesn't matter if they have money or they don't have money. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if they have kids or don't have kids. It's always a problem. Why do men hate women? And Haran, you know more about this woman than I do. I just have that clip, but I know you saw it longer. But did you hear the way he was like, you had to what the fuck is? Look, I cannot. Let me woosah, and you tell us more about what this woman has. I'm gonna drink my essential.
Okay, first of all, let me just give it a little bit more context. The guy that's speaking, his name is Jason Black. I often listen to his stuff. He's the Black Authority. He's also the business. I mean, Jason Black basically gives it to everybody, men and women. So I will say that, he's fair in that context. But in this particular situation, while I was watching the video, for him to sit there and say that this woman, and try to create this aura like this woman really doesn't have a shot at really getting what she wants, I think that was really overboard. That's a beautiful woman. That is a gorgeous woman. If she came to New York looking like that,
if she went
like
anywhere,
that,
if she went
what I
anywhere,
mean? She's California fine. California fine is a different kind of fine. Okay, you know what I'm talking about, Dean. That's a different kind of fine.
California is a different kind of fine.
She's California fine. So if she's doing it out there, she could pretty much do it anywhere. That's number one. She actually gave a number in terms of the minimum amount of, I guess, salary or income of the dude that she would deal with, and she said it was 150K a year. I don't know if people really understand. 150K out there in California, in SoCal or San Francisco, that really ain't shit, man. That's really not shit. That's kind of the bare minimum. I know people who are making that who have roommates. Okay, so it's not like this woman said that came out the gate saying that she needed a 9-figure dude and so on and so forth. She wasn't really saying any of these things. She was really more concentrating on the things that she was bringing to the situation. She said she was an entrepreneur. She said that she preferred. She said that she had children. Yes, she said that she preferred to date men with children because they would be more, understanding of her situation. And she said that she would also care to date men who are also entrepreneurs, because men who are entrepreneurs more times than not have to spend the time on working on themselves and and learning themselves and so on and so forth. So she wasn't, and from my perspective, she wasn't an unreasonable person for what she was bringing to the table. Now, my only thing was, she said she had 2 kids. The only thing I actually, say to myself is like, how old are those kids? You know what I mean? Because for me personally, it's like if they're young kids, then it's like you kind of got to start over. But if they're older and they're, you know what I mean, on their way out the door a little bit more, then it's a different situation. That's just my only personal opinion. But overall, she didn't sound like to me like she was asking all of these out of, you know what I mean, out of the ballpark questions and so on and so forth. So when he kept going on and on, I was like, nah, I don't agree with this at all. Because if you're gonna sit there and look at that woman and you're gonna tell yourself that she's gonna die alone or whatever, and she needs to lower her standards, like what should she absolutely lower her standards to? Well, a dude making like 40, 50,000 in SoCal. You know what I mean? Basically, you know what I mean, one cigarette from being homeless. Like what is that supposed to look like? You know what I mean? I'm confused. But you know, I'm gonna let y'all talk.
I'm a burst your bubble for a quick second. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. That woman's name is Salty V. She's a fitness influencer, and she's been on a lot of shows. And that skit was completely satire of what other people have said on other channels. I don't think that brother was out there saying those things. She was engaging. She was smiling. She was smiling through it. I think, and I'm almost willing to bet money that this was a satirical take on what guys have probably said on other platforms, what have you, because I've seen her on other platforms. So he was joking around.
That's okay, because that is what men do.
Did you see the whole episode?
No.
And there's no average at best over here. So men,
and I hear there's some guys. Don't get me wrong. This is what I'm saying. There's guys who just use that as kind of a overarching way that they feel because they are unsuccessful with women. That's the way. There is definitely that contingent when it comes to things like this. They're saying, "Oh well, you got a kid, ain't nobody gonna want you." My mama had 3 kids, met a man who was like, man, your mama the finest thing I ever saw. So and raised her 3 kids and then had another kid with her. So dudes will rock it with women if they like them enough and if they're cool enough. The kid thing is neither here nor there. I think what we get, you know, you said I listened to your whole thing, Jen, and it's like it's like a family of 12 coming back from the beach. It's a whole lot to unpack. So let's go ahead and just like, I think the thing is that it ain't about denying women that they can get what they want. We're just saying, have you done the work? Some women, not we, some men, and I agree to a degree that men are just saying, have you done the work to, not some, not all, have you done the work to get that? Like, Jen, if you decide tomorrow you want to be in the WNBA, physically you don't have the attributes that a common person in the WNBA would have. But if you've done the work, got your jump shot up, got your handles on the ball up, you could make it to WX. Your size necessarily wouldn't keep you from it. You just would have to do a little bit of extra work to get there. But if you win like you are today and say, I don't need to do none of that, I know I can shoot, you know, I'm balling. I don't, it doesn't matter what anybody else tell me, what the stats is telling me. I know I can play in the WNBA. Then we say, okay, you haven't done any of the work necessary. So that's all. Are men really saying you don't deserve any of that stuff? No, but it's saying, have you done the work to get that? If you want the 666, like you said, have you done the work to make sure that you're in a position to attract that dude and sustain it for a long period of time? You know, because that 666 guy will smash. You know, he's still a guy. He could probably smash anybody, but is it going to be a long-term situation? Have you done the work? And the work is, if you know that you are competing with women who are in better shape, have a better financial situation, or not even financial situation, because I don't think that's a huge thing, but you know, just overall more appealing to a guy that are closer to what he's used to. Are you setting the right expectations for what you get? And the big and here is, are you maintaining those standards and passing up a lot of good dudes? Because I was watching this thing and they were talking to women. They were saying, okay, would you date a doctor that made 80,000 or a plumber that made 120,000? All 4 of the women was like, I want the doctor, because of the status and what's called. It wasn't even about the money. He was like, all things considered, they were just, they looked the same, body the same. It's just, he was a plumber and he got shit on his pants every once in a while when he come home. But this is a doctor. And they was like, give me the doctor. It ain't even about money no more. It's like women feel like they deserve the same thing is they deserve the status symbol of having somebody who's accomplished, who's handsome, who can put it down in bed, all these things. And a lot of them just unfortunately haven't done the work to get that guy. And it's because we get told every day as a man, if I wanted to go up someone, she ain't gonna look at you. You ain't done the work. You ain't where you need to be to get her. Other women don't tell women that. Like, wait, girl, hold up. I know you like Michael B. Jordan, but he was just with Lori Harvey. So if you 5'4", 250 pounds, you may have to put in a little work, go to the gym, get your exercise on, whatever, could maybe dress a little bit nicer, whatever, for you to pull a guy. Like, forget him. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying you don't even deserve him. I'm just saying that use a little bit of work that needs to be there for you to get that. And are you aware of that? That's the thing. So go ahead and
I'm gonna give you a little pushback.
A little from you? Come on now.
Jen, before you say anything, remember that we did have discussions about how pretty girls ain't really doing their jobs as much as they should be with some of these other girls, by telling them like, hey, maybe you need to really stay in your lane and maybe you need to really fix some things before you want this, that, and the third. And we've had those discussions behind the scenes.
So let me say this. I like what Damien said, except for the fact that, again, like the woman in the video, even when you're attractive, now it's spilling over into ridiculousness and stupidity. And men are literally saying, you don't deserve that. It's to the point where women don't deserve shit. Whether they're average at best, whether they 5'4", 250 pounds, whether they're attractive, there is a plethora of men online saying, you don't deserve shit. Haran, you said this earlier when we spoke behind the scenes. You're starting to notice it doesn't matter how amazing a woman is. She doesn't qualify for anything. Even the women that are putting in the work, Damien, they're telling women with fees, men don't care about that. They're telling women with money, men don't care about that. They're telling women who are old and still look good, men don't care about that. They're telling women who are young, oh, you don't know shit, men don't care about that. So even the stuff that men say they care about, okay, and women show up with like, well, I got this, and I got that, satire or not, men are saying, you don't deserve all that. And the reason why I know it's real, even when it's fucking satire, is because the comments, not one of them motherfuckers, and Haran, you saw the comments, not one of them motherfuckers cares that it's fake. They just like the opportunity to
There
tell.
There was one dude who actually said 150K, you know what I mean, not for some ran through pussy. Now listen.
Even when it's fake online, men love the opportunity to cut a woman down.
Yeah, like I said, there is a contingent of cats who are just unsuccessful with women who just really, like you're saying, who really have this really visceral dislike for women because they don't have the ability to attract and retain women. So they're going to look at stuff like that and be like, yes, fuck them hoes, that's what I'm saying. But it's like, but there's the other side to that coin where some are going to be like, wait, slow your roller coaster. Make sure that you are setting the right expectations for what you have available. But you're fishing with the right bait. Just making sure of that. But like I said, there's a huge, and they're just more vocal. The fuck them hoes dude is they're just a lot more vocal.
Hey, Jen,
I'm
sorry.
I agree with that, but I've always thought that wasn't gender specific. I've worked corporate. I've worked entertainment. I had nothing, okay, but mobs of men that didn't qualify to date me. And I don't have to go through a list. You already know what I find unsightly and unattractive in a man. I've said it here 1,000 fucking times. But those men had no discernment, no discretion, nothing. They said, hey, baby, you want some of it. So to me, that's not gender specific. So for men to say, oh, women don't qualify, they don't qualify for their preferences. You know how many men, if I showed you my DM, you would think I was auditioning for, I don't know, the Bobby Brown story. After when his career tanked, okay, hundreds and hundreds of men that are not attractive, don't have good income, have a bunch of baby mamas, and they come at me at full throttle To the point where I gotta look in the mirror and like, what did he see? Like, why is he so confident? And that's been happening since I was a teenager. So why do men act like it's a foreign concept for you not to qualify for what you want when I can't walk down the block with every bum and their mama trying to holler at me? They know they don't qualify. They don't care. So why are you so mad in general? I'm saying, why are men so mad at a woman that's maybe a little overweight, but has a degree, makes good money, and has 2 kids? At least she's coming with something. Men come with nothing but their heart on, okay, and their ego. At least women are coming with, okay, I'm overweight. I may not have the hair complexion you like, but hey, dude, I have a degree. I take care of my own kids, and I have my money. These dudes are coming with baby mamas, backed up on child support, and still trying to get at you. Teeth fucked up, fingernails dirty, and still trying to get at you. So I give more credit to the women because at least the women are coming with a backup plan. These dudes are like homosexuals. The term homosexual was coined for men. What does that tell you? And I've dated one. So they're real. It's not a myth. So that's my pushback. Why are men acting like, oh, you want something, you don't qualify? You know, I've dealt with that my whole life. Men that didn't qualify. That's not gender specific.
Oh,
Can I answer that?
Let the brother get in there. He's been trying to get in there.
Yeah. All right. So here's the thing. First of all, this whole because over on certain other channels, we call it SBE. We call it shame, blaming, and explaining, right? SBE. So the issue ultimately is like during the pandemic when everybody was sitting at home, they ain't got nothing to do. All of a sudden, this content style just blew up. Even though it had existed for a while, most people really weren't paying attention to it, but it really blew up because the issue was at that point, everybody's sitting home listening to this, and basically a lot of dudes are getting angry at it. I wouldn't say men hate women. I wouldn't say that. I would say that men have lost control of women and they're resentful for it. I wouldn't say that men hate women, though. Now, granted, there are some dudes out there who absolutely hate women and will, like these incel dudes who will put an end to their life. That's a separate category. But then you got a lot of these dudes who are angry because they got screwed in divorce court, they got screwed in family court. So usually when we're on this manosphere thing, all you hear is these dudes crying and whining about the same thing every day. It's like the women cheated them or broke them in court and this, that, and other. They hate the system. They have no idea how to fix the system or how to change the system, but they're pissed off. And we were on there 2 days ago, and you got an incel talking about he wants to see women and men segregated at work and this, that, and other. I'm like, yo, dude, that's never going to happen. That's totally unrealistic. So this whole thing about these dudes that you're talking about, a lot of these dudes are single mama raised, and these dudes have this crazy amount of self glorification. And they'll holler at anybody with their teeth not in their mouth and this, that, and other. But what kills me is that some of these women give them play. So all you're doing is encouraging them. The question that I had asked you while you were talking about Nick Cannon and that other dude having all these kids, my thing is these women knew that these guys were never going to marry them. So why are they giving them kids with the exception of for clout? Do they think that they're just going to jump on the payroll? Because these dudes are obviously never going to marry them, right?
Yes.
So my thing is, if you are going to let this dude impregnate you, you know he's not going to marry you, then who are you blaming for that? So my only thing is, I don't think these men hate women. I think these men understand that they can't control women at all in this society. Granted, there's some societies out there where they have 100% control over women and most of the men too. But in this society, these dudes have lost control of women. These dudes are thirsty. They crying and whining about the same nonsense every day.
Well, it's about real.
Hold on, Haran, because I just want to address the whole like the serial baby daddies, specifically talking about athletes and rappers and singers. It's what I said earlier about Brittany Renner when the guy said in the clip, Brittany Renner can't have it all. You forget these women want the bag. Like I said before, they want the bag and an occasional good stroke. Okay, all those baby mamas Nick Cannon has, all those baby mamas Chief Keef has, all those baby mamas Future has, they want the bag. They want to be known as I have such and such as kid. So they're not blaming anything. They get to, buy their red bottoms and kick their feet up, go on a vacation with the girlfriends and chitter chatter. And hopefully Mona Scott will pick them up for the next season of Love and Hip Hop or basketball or whatever the fuck, is going on. So, when you say, who can you blame? Who can they blame? They're not blaming anybody. They are living their best lives. They are young, dumb.
I got to push back on that strongly. Both of these chicks have been recently on shows, or Brittany Renner will be in her car crying about her relationship status. I think I forgot who was just interviewing Amber Rose. Same thing, just upset, just downtrodden about her relationship status. So they want the man, but they will accept the bag as a consolation prize.
And you believe that?
100%.
And you believe that?
Go look at Liz, that chick. My name is T.
Public figure. You believe that they came up and cry and go to Kardashian route, okay? Because everybody's gonna talk about it. Brittany Renner was crying, see, she ain't happy. Amber Rose was crying, see, she ain't happy. You think that this isn't planned at all? You think they specifically put the makeup on, looked cute, hit record, and said, I'm gonna do this because I feel emotional about these men? You really think that these type of women, one of them was a stripper, one of them is practically a stripper online. These women don't think like normal women. Women who fuck
Absolutely.
for money do not think like normal women. They're machines. They're vacant. It's different.
Did you just call them hoes?
Well, that's what the industry calls them.
Okay, the industry. So okay.
They mean that. They ain't never gave that. I don't know. I don't believe in the whole what everybody's fucking men more than women.
I mean, like prostitute. You said they who have sex for money. I was like, okay.
Well, yes. I mean, you know what I mean? Some girls are walking on the corner. Some girls getting called by the politicians, and some girls are twerking on Instagram and getting.
I already told y'all what I think about hoes, so it is what it is.
But at the end of the day, it's just women wanting. And then I want Foxy to speak after this because she's been very patient. It's just women wanting security and money. And I'm constantly using this fucking analogy. It's no different than a woman back in when we were in caves. The man that comes in with the 2 buffalo is going to get more ass than the guy that comes in with the fox. Right? The lady.
It's about resources.
That's cute. The fox is cute. I guess I can make a little, shawl with it. And then here comes the dude with the 2 buffalo. And it's like, oh.
So you're saying women are hypergamous?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, well, guess what? Men are hypogamous, and those two things don't mix. If women want to date up, they need to understand that men are biologically going to date down. And those two things don't really mix. So all of these women, yes, I understand that they got money. Some of them are rich. Some of them got, they can have PhDs and this, that, and the other. But when it comes to a man, he's only focused on like 3 things. He's like, how young are you? How sexy are you? Can you have children? And that's like it. And can you like cook and clean? And that's it. It's like these women are talking about, oh yeah, well, I'm going to get the bag. I'm going to have it all. Here's a question. How many of them have the bag, have it all?
What is all though? Because I know all too. That's another thing.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You start off by saying the men are thinking that they want to get married, this, that, and other. First of all, this society was indoctrinated into marriage ever since like Disney movies. That was always the goal. It wasn't just to have sex. It was to have marriage so you could get that security you're talking about and you could get that income that you're talking about. These men in general in this economy aren't all high value dudes. We already understand that. Most of them don't make that much money. Now, as far as the women go, most of them don't make that much money either. So my thing is, when you're talking about having it all, are you talking about like these Instagram scammers who are taking photos in front of cars at Mercedes and claiming that that's theirs? They got the Louis Vuitton bag and they got their clothes already and everything? Or are you talking about when you go to work, you say you work corporate. Take a look at the average Jewish woman or take a look at the average Asian woman. Chances are they got a ring on their finger. They got a husband. They've got money coming in. They've got kids. They've got a house. They've got all of this stuff that these women claim they want out of a high value man. So when you say all, that's kind of what I'm talking about.
But here's the thing: we can't ignore culture, though. We can't ignore culture.
So what you're saying is that one culture is good and the other culture is ratchet.
That's what you said.
Yes.
Say that.
That's exactly what I said.
There's a difference in culture and priorities, right?
So yes.
Huge difference. Where it's like a woman working corporate America, be she black or brown, she's just thinking, I want the bag. I don't really give a F about. An Asian woman or a Jewish woman is like, no, we're supposed to get married and have.
Yes, and they do it, and look at them, and I want you to tell me who's always complaining about some other group out there who's got all this money and all this political power and all this control. They are following a program, and that program is working for them. So my only thing is, as like, instead of learning from that, like these chicks who are going, and I'll just stop with this because I'll pass the mic. But you got to understand something. Men are hardwired for age. They don't want old women. They don't want. It's like going shopping for eggs and milk. When you go to that grocery store, you're not looking for the eggs and milk that is about to hit its expiration or has hit its expiration. You're going to the back of that refrigerator and you're going to grab the milk and the eggs that say, yeah, this shit doesn't expire until like August 31st or something. And you know that's true. Men mentally are hardwired that way. So when these women are talking about getting a bag, in sociology class, they teach you that's called a career track or a mommy track. Women are picking careers and over having their children, right? So what you're ending up getting is you're getting women who are older when they start having children, if they have children, and also they don't start family planning until they're in their 30s or 40s. What that also shows you is in the housing market. There's been a couple of stories. They're saying women are mostly buying houses alone. So that means that they're making their money buying house alone. But guess what? Guess who's the first up for the foreclosures? They are, because they only got a single income coming in. It's theirs. And the issue is most men, I'm not going to say these Pookies and Ray Rays, men don't want to move in with the woman. They want to either get that house together or they want to have it themselves. Men are hypogamous.
What men?
No, I'm not talking about these Pookies and Ray Rays, these dudes laying up in their mama's basement playing PlayStation 5 until they're 37. I'm not talking about those dudes. I'm not talking about the ones playing Xbox in their drawers right now, playing Master Chief while they should be out there making some money. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about these dudes who are high value.
My PlayStation guys just got, what's wrong with PlayStation?
Yeah, no, listen, these dudes, let me tell you something. And I'll pass the mic because I know people want to talk. The scariest thing to me, and I've traveled all over the world, I do qualify for that high value man status. I make over $200,000 a year regularly from my business. But I'll say this, I don't expect all people to be able to pull that out. I'm a New Yorker and it's expensive to live here. All I'm saying is these dudes are like children. They're growing up, they're damn near 45 and they sitting in their drawers playing Xbox and PlayStation 5. It's like, hey guys, at a certain point, that stuff is for children. What is that thing in the Bible? When I was a child, I behaved childishly. And when I got older, I put aside the childish things. These dudes have no fathers to get an inheritance from. They can't inherit land. They can't inherit houses. They can't inherit money. But guess what? Take a look at those Jews and Asians. Asians, when they get married, they buy their kids their first house because they've got the money saved up. Take a look at the Jews. They give their kids a house. They make sure that they stay out of loans. So you're in a culture that is not giving you anything logical, and you're always behind everybody else. I'll pass the mic now.
Okay, so I'll say these really quickly before Foxy goes. First of all, super chat break. Thank you for the super chat. Liddy Jones says, living is easy with eyes closed. Misunderstanding is all you see. Thank you, Liddy Jones. Liddy Jones dropping the poetry. Some pushback for you, Big Truck, because you was like, who are the most people complaining about the people that have it all? I agree with Tristan. Poor people, be they white, be they black. It is poor people always complaining that people have all the shit up top, for the record. With that said, welcome, Foxy. Lady, how are you?
Oh.
Please cut up this testosterone for me. Please cut it up.
Well, I wanted to say salute to you, Jen. I'm fairly new to your platform, and I appreciate your breath of fresh air, your energy, and most importantly, your brain, your mind.
Thank you.
Salute to the gentlemen that are on the panel as well.
Salute.
So I had an experience with Jason Black, the guy who you just took the clip where he's talking to that woman, and he kind of chewed me out in in his sarcastic way, because we were talking about the struggle of, and people, women, men don't want to have that, and I'm coming from a time where that's what we knew, and we didn't call it struggle of. When I met my husband, I had a 1-year-old daughter. He wasn't working full time, and I was just coming out of high school. But the fact that we had other high value things other than money, it brought us together. And we're still married 25 years later. No, we haven't hit 6 figures and nothing like that, but we understand that when you have children, and you have children at a young age, that's priority before you. And so I kind of like brought that up to Jason, and he just kind of like poo-pooed me down and shooed me away. And I was like, okay, I'm never calling back again, because I don't know if he's ever had that type of experience, but majority of us are living like that. I don't know where these women are delusional and wanting this whole 6 figures and all this other crap. So with that, I understand. I'm kind of on that field with what Jason Black is talking about and what Samuels is talking about. As far as men hating women, I don't think that's the case. And I don't think women hate men either. I think that there's this, especially in the Hispanic and the Black society, we're the most downtrodden and systematically put in place for things to fail. The ones that are able to get out of that and succeed is far and few compared to the counterparts of an Asian and Jewish, if you want to call it, community. And those same women, those Asian women and the Jewish women, while yes, they have a wedding ring on their finger, their husbands are also cheating, but they stick it out because they don't want to look like a failure, and they're in it for the bag as well. So with that, I land my plane.
Okay. We have someone new on the panel. I need a couple of these after that. Just saying. This is why I need my women up here. Mr. T, welcome to the panel. What say you?
Yo, what's up? How are you?
Hello.
It's me. It's me from the UK.
I know. I recognize your voice. What say you, sir?
Yeah, well, it's got a lot to say. Basically, obviously, this is my opinion. I think a number of guys have actually been, what's the word? I think what it is a lot of guys have, I think we touched on this before on Mark, your friend Mark, the film producer, over the quarantine time, and we used to talk, me, you, Mark, and this was a very important point. I think a lot of guys, in a sense, have been, from their own perspective, have been kind of betrayed, because they see, like, they think, obviously, a lot of them think they're going to come in and they're going to save a woman. For example, they've got the income, like I said, they've got the income, the assets, and they're going to come in there and they're going to be the knight in shining armor, as it were. That's what I think. The problem is, that's monetary, that's financial. A lot of these guys don't know how to provide emotional security for women. Where's the friendship? Where's the best friendism in it? Where's the rapport between two people? More time than not, it's not really there. The guy's entered the affray, entered the story on the premise that he's going to be a savior. And twos, when the woman answers back, or there's any kind of rebuttal to that, that's when all hell breaks loose. And she's a hoe, she's a slut, she's the worst thing since AIDS. You know what I mean? So that's my take. You know what I mean? And I've seen it happen. A good friend of mine, I don't know what he's doing with this woman, sorry, but it's the same thing. You think it's that old colloquialism, just save a hoe kind of thing, And yeah, I'm familiar with Jason Black, by the way. He's an old school YouTube operator from the days of Sergeant Willie P era, people like that. In terms of his pro-blackness, I kind of agree with that. But his other rhetoric regarding relationships, I'm not so sure, to be honest. But hey, there's each case is different.
Okay,
Sorry.
I'm not familiar with him, and I don't, Haran DeMarco,
Careless.
what he's like.
Yeah.
Like he was like, he's a combination of this guy and this guy, and I was like, I don't care. I don't care to know. I'm trying to remove myself from that entire, that off that YouTube street, right? I'm moving uptown. I can't deal. Or downtown if you're thinking New York.
Yeah.
So okay, Haran, I don't want to leave off how you said that you had this epiphany and you're starting to notice that these men are attacking all women, not just the average at best. And also, I wanted you to give us the theory on why their voice is shrill and it gets on my nerves. And you had a theory as to why they sound like that.
Well, let's just get to that theory first. It's not really even a theory per se. This is actually documented. There's a lot of low testosterone men running around here. You know what I mean? This is actually documented. This generation, as in comparison to previous generations and generations prior, our T levels aren't as high as our predecessors. And I think that could be due to a number of things. One could attest that generations prior were a little bit more hands-on. The environment was a little bit more dangerous, you would per se say. So the need for high test levels wouldn't necessarily be there. But one of the things that I did notice when I visited a number of incel channels and just really, because I do find a number of them fascinating, they all had these high-pitched, shrill voices. And they would crack and they would just sound, I mean, these dudes would be grown guys who sound like they were in the middle of puberty. And it would just sound just like, and I would just, theorize that maybe a lot of these guys have like a lot of testosterone problems. Maybe they need to see a doctor about that. Hit the gym, so on and so forth. Maybe a number of them just have a medical condition that they really need to look into. But anyway, I'll try to clean this up as quickly as possible. Yes. In terms of what I said about the epiphany, if you recall, before I showed you that video, you and I had got into a bit of a disagreement about another woman, and some dude was putting some money down on the woman, and I didn't think that. I was like, ugh, okay, it's not necessarily my speed, but maybe that's his thing. And then you were going on the
speak on it, talk about it. What are you talking about? What woman? What money?
It was the dude who put 200 or 300 down on the waitress, blah blah blah. So, you know what I mean? Do you recall that we had that argument?
I remember.
We went back and forth on that. Back and forth on that. And I was like, I don't know about this one. He was like, you gotta understand. I'm like, I don't know.
I had to give you back. It was $200 just to let everybody in on it, because I don't want people. We're all here. It's all family. We're unpacking, like Damien. We're unpacking. Basically, long story short, there was a woman who was a bit overweight. She wasn't like an obese.
No, she wasn't a bit overweight. She was a bit
overweight to me. I've seen a lot bigger.
She wasn't like, she was fat. She was fat. She was a fat woman, Damien.
Well, to me, I've seen overweight. She wasn't obese to me. Had the pretty face with the makeup, whatever. And she was talking about that. Basically, long story short, she was saying the way she got her guy. This guy kept trying to get her. She was a waitress, right? He was trying to get her, and he kept giving her big tips and bigger tips. Big and $200. Okay, I used to manage a club, the fucking door of a club. Dudes were throwing $300 at me just to walk them into the VIP so they didn't have to stand online. To me, $300 tip is not a lot of money. But apparently, Haran said, oh, he paid $200 and got a what? Some word you said, a duck or some shit.
Somewhere around the line of that. I keep it a buck. Y'all keep it a buck. I was like, you drove off the lot with a Pinto.
Right.
I was like, yo, we have to go.
He paid $200
Get to the
for
buck.
that. And I'm like, first of all, $200 is not a lot of money. Two, I think this is where we disagree. That man understood women. And not only that, that man is now her boyfriend.
Okay.
So he understood women like money. Women like security. Okay. She is working. She's busting her ass as a waitress. I'm going to drop this on her and get her attention. Even when I worked, when I was managing the door at the club in fucking Times Square, I'm sorry, but the dudes that were like, here's 300, walk me back to the VIP because I got Timberlands on. And I'm like, you can't come in with Timberlands, bro. He's like, here you go. He got my attention. He understands how women work. He knows how the system works. And that's why I didn't knock that guy, because what en qué cabeza cabe that money is a bad thing? Like, we need money to survive and live and eat and pay bills. Like, money is important. So
I understand that.
Got my attention, Timberlands and all. You want to go to? No, I can't let you in unless you're buying bottles. I want 3 bottles. Let's go right back to the VIP. That's how the world works. And that
was an investment. That was an investment.
Espérate, because if you talk and I talk, they can't hear. So if I, you understand, he understand how the work, and he got his girl. And that's why I was commending him, because he got his girl. Whether you think she's a pinto, he's happy because he got his girl. He's happy. You ain't gotta like what she looks like.
That's absolutely true. Now, here's the point that I'm making. Now, when I saw the video of the other girl and she was getting slammed, I was like, nah, this is not the same thing. This is entirely not the same thing. You're literally pissing on a Lamborghini now. This is not the same situation. This is look, listen, we have to be honest with ourselves. I don't care how old somebody is. Pretty privilege is a thing. Okay, pretty privilege is a thing. The girl from the average at best video, okay, she could have no children, you know what I mean? But she's not in the same space as a Halle Berry. I'm sorry. 50-year-old Halle Berry, like 2-3 kids, she's not in the same space. You know what I mean? And we have to understand certain things when it comes to dating and so on and so forth. There are logistics and there are realities in the situation that a lot of times are, either physically dependent or age dependent. For example, when I was in my 20s, I was doing me. I was out here. I wasn't really, worried about spending bread like that because I really didn't have to. You know what I mean? You can do whatever you can do with a woman, and it is what it is. But as I grew older, as I reached towards my 30s, I realized yesterday's price wasn't today's price. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? The cost of pretty women went up. And I was like, and you know what I mean? Girls coming at me, you know what I mean? They saying all these fancy names and these wines and shit. And I'm like, wait a minute, Applebee's was the shit before. What do you mean? What do you mean? You want this now? All right. So, but guess what though? I had to reinvent myself. I had to look at the situation. I didn't get upset. I didn't get mad. I'm like, y'all chicks is like, no, I looked at the situation. I said, okay, what is the incentive? What do I want? How do I want to move? Okay, let me go down this particular path and do that. Like, listen, I'm very clear about my own attributes and what is the reality in life. Like, for instance, if you can be, a guy can be 6'2", 6'3", and out of shape. I'm 5'9". I have to be in shape. I have to be in shape. I have to do certain things. The taller the guy is, the more the woman is willing to say, whatever. You know what I mean? And that's just the reality of the situation. I don't get mad. I just look at it for what it is. Work with my my attributes, and just take it from there. I think that a lot of times people aren't clear on what they really, on the cards that they really have. And I think that a lot of times they're really mad at the cards and they take that out on the person.
I totally agree with that. I have something for Big Truck. When you said about having it all, I think the problem is that we think all is one thing. right? Having it all for this woman may not be having it all for that woman. This woman may just want to be on Nick Cannon's baby mama roster, right? Another woman may want the ring and the picket fence and the puppy and the, you know what I mean? So it's relative. To me, all is relative, because my all is most definitely not the, you know, I'm not going to say the majority, maybe half of the women's pop, maybe half the women want to get married and the other half feel like me. But my all is not everybody's all. Her all may be, oh, I could afford red bottoms with the child support now. My all is something else.
I hear what you're saying. It's highly subjective. I hear what you're saying. My only thing is, it's like some cultures get it all, you know, and as much as I'd like to see, you know, my culture or the people who look like me get it all, I can right away recognize that they're not going to get it all, because they're not they're not working for it all. So you know, they're just not going to get it all. What do they really have to offer?
Well, what some cultures have had the latitude to sacrifice to get it all. Historically, we've not had the latitude in it available us to sacrifice necessarily, because we had to work so hard to get what we got, and what we got wasn't necessarily that prolific that we like, okay, what we can't, certain things we just can't sacrifice on. I understand what you're saying. Like I think it was Jen, you might have said this earlier. It's like those women on face of value, they have it all, but the men are cheating on them. They you know, there's a lot of strict like cultural expectations that are put on them. You know, there's a lot of things that go on behind the line that's just that a lot of modern women wouldn't be down for, like controlling the way you dress, who you talk to, like some places, things like that. They're just not open to that kind of thing, and it's just not something that they can rock with. So
Ask Nathaniel, the billionaire, is in the building. What's up, Big Nate? You have to follow this man. He is changing. He is shifting the paradigm in the YouTube streets. What's up, Ask Nathaniel? I'm gonna call you after the show. I promise. It's been crazy for me the past couple of days. Good to see you, sir. Don't forget my On the Block with Jen Cash App is scrolling on the bottom if you want to support the show. I also want to, there was a good comment. Danny asked a good question, and it's funny that this question is usually directed towards women, and it's not gender specific. At Jen, was your all the same as when you were 21 as opposed to now? No one's all is, I don't care if you're a man or woman, I don't care if you're an alien, your all is not the same at 21 as it is in your 30s, as it is in your 40s. You have different needs and desires and priorities, right? So no, at 21, my all was, is my kid okay? Right? At 30, it's like, I want to get out of this corporate life. I want to do something else. At 40, it's different. I'm partying. Mama is good. So it's different. Your all changes, but that happens to men too. I'm sure you didn't feel your all is the same at 21 or 48. I don't know why this is constantly pushed on women, like, oh, after you get a certain age, you settling down and you got to settle for whatever comes down the pipe. Not me. Not at all. You know what I mean? I want to welcome, now you tell me how to pronounce your name, sir, because I've been calling you Zoe.
Just Zoe. Zoe is fine. You're good.
Zoe. Okay, good. Because I'm like, Zoe, is it okay? So I don't know how much of my rant or the gentleman's comments you heard, but what say you, sir?
I heard when you were speaking on basically women being, what's the word? Monogamy, not monogamy, hypergamous.
Hypergamy.
Yes.
And then the gentleman who responded, I had a question, like, he said hypergamy and hypogamy don't mix, but from like what it seems like people talk about, it seems like they do mix. Like it's supposed to be if women date up and men date down, then people should be matching up all across the board. I see where you make that assumption, but no, it doesn't work that way, because the problem is if you have a woman like Jen's pointing out, these women who've got money and they've got PhDs and this, that, and other. The reality is most guys don't want a chick who spent so much of her life in school that she's achieved those degrees.
So what ends up happening is she's going to want somebody who's above her. Like, for example, if I'm Dr. I don't know, Dr. Oprah, right? I'm not going to marry Pookie or Ray Ray. I'm looking for the guy who's above me. I'm looking for Dr. Ben Carson or something. I'm looking for, so basically when I go around these high value people, I go to dinners and dates and stuff, I'm introducing him as, oh yes, oh well, I'm a doctor and he's a neurosurgeon and blah, blah, blah. Or I'm a doctor this and he's president of the United States or something like that. That's hypergamy. Now the issue with men is men generally are going to go after women.
Wait, hold on a second. Don't go. Can you not? No, I don't mean to cut you off. I just want to make sure I'm following you. So what you just described was what women do when they're looking for a man.
That's exactly, yes.
Okay, so I'll take that as one thing, and then what's the next one you're going to say?
No, I was going to say that men are generally hardwired towards age. So typically, if a man is going to get with a woman, and especially if they're going to get married, he's typically looking for a woman who's going to deliver his children, and also a woman who's going to be there for his children. See, that's the thing. A lot of these women who are corporate, a lot of these women who are high-value women, the problem is they're out of the household so long, they're not in the household cooking, cleaning, and making sure those kids are okay. They're at a job. And I'll be real quick because I know you want me to drop the mic, but like, for instance, I have a friend, he's a lawyer, makes over $250,000 a year. His wife is a nurse. Guess which one of them is there for the kid? None of them. So they only have one kid because they're not even around each other enough to really even have sex. They had one kid, and now the issue is they're not there for the kid. So now you get these latchkey children, and you get these children that are not properly looked after. Most men,
like an empty relationship to me.
I'm sorry, no, but that's the problem. When you get these people who are trying to chase this high value lifestyle, right? What ends up happening is, I don't know. Did you see The Devil Wears Prada?
No.
That's just a movie. The Devil Wears Prada was with Meryl Streep. Jen, did you see that? I know you saw it.
I love it.
You remember Meryl Streep? Now, Meryl Streep was the high value woman in the movie, and her husband left her because he was like, oh, you're not there for me. You're not there emotionally for me. Well, what do you expect from a woman who's trying to bring home that kind of money? She's not going to be there. I have issues. I know people personally with issues like that. The man comes home. The woman hasn't come home yet. The kids are a mess. The house is filthy. And then they end up in divorce. This is not rocket science. Hypergamy and hypogamy do not mix.
Jen, can I come in now and say?
Okay. Well,
okay.
Well, why I disagree with you? Okay. Well, I'll let you say, but I definitely disagree with you. I'll let the lady speak though.
Thank you.
Thank you. To the comment that was just made with the gentleman prior to me coming on, it's not only just people in high value or money making, as we say, six figures. People who are working blue collar, those mothers and fathers also are not in the home because they're trying to make ends meet. And if they have children, they're definitely out there trying to support their children. Also, we have been looking at what high value people look like through the television.
I agree.
Through media. And who are those high value people? The white people.
Yes.
And so we're very misguided as far as what does high value look like. Mm-hmm. And we want, and then even in other cultures, they tell their children, be a doctor, and the women should marry a doctor or marry a lawyer. But that's because they're also looking at the same people that we've been looking at for eons now. And we have to redirect that and change that paradigm because we're having the younger generation looking at that like that's the thing to be. And, sadly, it doesn't work out that way.
I agree. I agree with you. Let me just say on your comment, ends aren't supposed to meet because they're ends. They're not supposed to meet, and that ends don't meet. That's the point. Otherwise, it would be like circle. But anyway, get away from that. Get your kids away from these televisions. They're learning from what they want to be, looking at the wrong type of people. And I absolutely agree with you on that. If you're going to watch,
I'm sorry. I'm just interested in what Zoe was going to say. I think he was about to have a real good point. It sounded like he was going to have a good point. I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm just so
good. Okay, yeah. As soon as I finish, I'll let Zoe go back. So all I'm just saying is you got to get your kids off these televisions, because the problem is if you watch celebrities, it gives you a false reality of what life is supposed to be. Okay, go ahead, Zoe.
You trying to run my channel, Damien?
No, I sound like he was about to say something interesting, and I just was curious about it. And no, everybody's been saying really interesting stuff, but
it's all good. I'm eating. Thank you.
I do agree with you there. My bad. I do agree with you. We got to keep people away from television. The thing that I disagree with is like the way you describe hypergamy and hypogamy. It sounds like maybe they're examples of it, but both those words seem to describe something way more natural about men and women that from your examples doesn't really like hit, because something you said earlier was that Pookies and Ray Rays aren't hypogamous, but it's like all women find things that are attractive in a man that allow them to be submissive to that man. So whether she's happy with him is one thing, but whether she's picking him to move ahead in life or because his natural dominance is something for her, it's two different worlds, but they both exist inside masculine traits. The thing about you saying hypergamy is like geared towards women that are trying to end up in those like unsuccessful relationships where they're high earning and they get everything, but they're not, but at what cost? It sounds, what's the word? I don't know. It just sounds like propaganda to me. It doesn't sound like a real relationship. It doesn't sound like it sounds like the relationship that they sell you to have, like the white picket fence and everything that you're supposed to have, but it's not really happy because there's no substance behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the thing about Pookie and Ray Ray. The Pookie and Ray Ray are basically, they have no choice but to be hypogamous, simply because a woman who's above them would never give them the time of day. Just like Jen was talking about these dudes who are missing teeth and still trying to holler at her and stuff. Women.
My point is, and I think what Jen's point was that those men don't look at those women as above them. They think they can.
Wait, you mean the women who would give them time?
That's it. That's it.
They're not trying to get time. They're just taking their time because they don't look up to these women. They're looking down at these women still. They're still putting themselves in a position above these women, which to some degree I can understand how it's not going to work on certain types of women, but on other types of women, they're going to be more like attracted to that because just like this guy's persistent. They're gonna some women look at that, not the no teeth guys, obviously. There's obviously lines and limits and stuff, but and to each his own. Not to say if you have a no teeth dude that you don't love him for who he is, who cares? But it's that they don't care, and that they will still approach, and that they'll be trying to get what they want in a situation with a woman that maybe in other terms outclasses them, but at the end of the day, he still looks at her and sees a woman. And I can relate to that. I don't know if I'm a Pookie or a Ray Ray. I've been called Pookie and Ray Ray before. I don't think I am, but I think it's just one of those. Every time I see women, that I look at them as women. Like, you're just a woman to me. You're not you're not the same as me. Anybody can be a woman. Not anybody can be a man, and that's how I feel about when I look at a woman.
It goes back to what Damien said.
Which isn't really
He said, if I wanted to join that WNBA, right, I don't have the height, I don't have the skill. That's common sense to me, right? And look at the WNBA. It looks like fun. I'd love to be there with those girls, but common sense tells me and logic tells me you're not the height, you're not the age, you don't have men, they don't have that. That doesn't compute in their brain. They don't look at me and say, she's not going to care, she's going to care that I'm fat or overweight, or don't have teeth, or don't have a car, or don't have a home. They don't think
they
like,
know. They do. They do. It's all upside to try. It's all upside. They already at the bottom and they can't go nowhere but up. So it it's there's no, if they shoot their shot and they miss, they were in the game. It's like, so there's no downside to trying to holler at somebody that's obviously out of their league. That's all it is. Because they may catch you on that one dive and you're like, fuck that, I just need a man. They make, but that most likely won't happen. But
so it's not gender specific.
No, women don't. Yeah, that's right, women. But traditionally, it's the man who is like has so much less to lose by approaching women that are obviously out of their league, because it's all upside.
I will say this: Damon does have a point, because the most confident men I've ever seen in my life, and I come from this culture, the most confident men I've ever seen in my life are ugly Jamaican men. Okay, I've seen these dudes actually approach any woman that is way above their weight class and get them, and actually get them, and actually convince them. You know what I mean? To actually, you know what I mean? Actually go. I mean, I don't know if y'all remember. There was a bunch of women who thought Shaba was attractive. Hey, look, listen, it's what it is.
Hell yeah, Shaba could get it. Hell yeah.
See, there you go. So look, listen. So in their mind, look, men, this is one thing about men. As long as you give men the hope, the size of a grain of salt, they will shoot that shot, man. If that hope is in them.
And then when ugly men, it's a numbers game. You need to go, if you hoping to get one woman, you need to approach 100. So you are out of his league, but he probably could approach 20 other women exactly the same. You think that dude who's DM you and saying, you know, that African prince or whatever who said DM you right now, he ain't DM 50 other women hoping that one will bite? It's a game of numbers. So he has to go to as many women as possible, regardless if he's short, fat with one tooth in the mouth.
And game theory does dictate.
I don't think it's just the numbers thing. I think that's important. I think it's important, the numbers. I think it's important, the numbers, but I think what's more important is that, like, men have an understanding that women are attracted to men for more than just their looks. Women actually want to see the type of person that they're dealing with, and that confidence is a factor. A man's confidence makes an impression on a woman immediately. A man's plan, a man's goals in life has a structure, has an effect on a woman immediately. As soon as things are apparent to a woman, those are things that attract a woman to that man, and then his character included. So to say that he's an honest person or a funny person or things that are like positive in social interactions, those things matter to a woman when it comes to judging a man, whether he's Pookie and Ray Ray, whether he's ugly Jamaican dude. We all know ugly Jamaican dude. Whether he's ugly Jamaican dude, whether he's Pookie, Ray Ray, whether he's any of these people, women look at it and say, this guy has more to him than meets the eye. This guy might be, you know, something more than what it is that he's showing me.
Go ahead.
Absolutely.
I'm just curious.
Well, because I'm not calling that in particular Pookie and Ray Ray. I'm just using them as the least common denominator. Any man can do this.
Why were you called Pookie and Ray Ray?
I don't remember. I plead the fifth.
He was like, you know, I was out there pooking it up with my boy Ray Ray.
You put your story together, brother.
But you know what? There's truth to what he just said, because that's exactly how me and my husband met. It wasn't on face value. It wasn't on money value. Sure, he looked nice dress wise, but you know, he brought his authentic self and his humor and just paying attention to me and listening. As I said before, you know, I had a 1-year-old daughter. I was a teenage mother living in the Bronx. The father dipped out on me, and I wasn't really I tried to make it work with him, but we were both young, so it just didn't work out that way. But the future boyfriend and now husband just took an interest. He wasn't like, you know, she doesn't have anything, you know, she's a teenage mother. She doesn't have anything worth value to bring. He didn't look at me that way. We didn't look at each other that way. We just looked at each other as human beings. We liked each other's company. And first and foremost, I think you need to have this friendship. We're losing sight of, money makes everything happy. It makes us feel good, sure. But at the end of the day, I'd rather be broke and be with my partner and thugging it out and trying to make it work than, be happy with this money and be miserable.
See, that's a great example, Fox. That's your all.
That is my all.
Doesn't match my all. Like everybody's all is different.
Is there supposed to be a
little
standard?
pressure? You about to get slapped in the mouth. Anyway, continue, guys. I'm like, what the?
Yeah, so that's
supposed to be a standard for all? Oh, go ahead. My bad.
No, go ahead, because you were just making a valid point.
No, I'm saying it's supposed to be a standard for all, because it seems like outside of religion, there really is no actual standard for it, for what it all actually means.
And there shouldn't be a standard. It should be individual.
I don't think it's a standard. I think it's very individual. Very.
It should be. You know what I mean? I think that
we're all different. It has to be. It has to be. I think when you try
that's
to
one of the
give
main
everybody,
problems.
but I think when you try to give everybody the same all, that's when the chaos happens, because all women don't want the same thing and all men don't want the same. All the women want the 666, which I mentioned on the Kendra G show for obvious reasons. And, men all want a woman that's 20 years old, can bear children, who cooks and cleans and is barefoot and rubs his back every night. YouTube will have you believing that all men want that. And all women want, is money in 6 inches and over 6 feet. That's what happens here on YouTube land.
Jen, let me ask you a question, Jen. Let me ask you a question. How often do you think that women actually ask men what they want?
Say again?
How often do you think women actually sit down and ask men generally what they want and what they require?
And that's important to us.
I think it happens often on first dates or second dates, doesn't it? Don't these conversations happen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Happens. What do you want? What are you looking for? I'm do this, I do that. What's your back? I think it happens often.
Okay.
I mean, I'm asking if it's important to ask, because to me, it's like, I feel like when I'm on the first date, the thing I'm being judged for is if I'm volunteering what it is I want, more so than is she going to ask. Like I'm very well, interviews too. I'm very keen on letting it be clear what I want, how I want things for what it is, versus at least in the beginning on the first date, versus expecting a woman to be like, well, what do you want? Like, to me, I would look at that and think that I dropped the ball ahead of time, and she's asking me what I want instead of me volunteering it.
I don't know. I think a lot of times women feel like they don't have time to waste. They're like, I'm not gonna waste my time if our goals aren't aligned. So let me just get it out the rest. Like, what are you looking for? Because like I'll put it back to my situation. My mom, she had 3 kids, and she met my stepdad, and she said, "Look, this is what I want. Can you rock with it?" And he was like, "You fine. I'm a rock with it." And that's the way it was. I think I'm just being facetious, but that's kind of how women are. It was like, here's where I am. How do you receive that, and how can you contribute, and what can you do with that, and how's it going to work?
I don't think that's all the time, though. I think that's, for your mother's situation, it's understandable, because I mean, there's a sense of urgency.
Exactly. She has children.
Right, exactly. She's got shit to do. You know what I mean? She ain't got no time to deal with no waterhead dude trying to figure himself out or not too sure about what the next move is. She needs decisiveness. She needs, a straight back leadership, all those things, you know what I mean? So, but I think these things, are a lot of times they could be age dependent and they could be experience dependent. Sometimes, a woman, maybe she might have a child, and the next situation she goes into, she says, hey, you know, I mean, you know, there's certain things I'm just not going to do anymore. These are these are the standards that I have. You know what I mean? And this is how it's going to go. Or it could, like I said, it could just be age dependent. So I don't think it's all the time.
We have to remove that word all because it's inclusive, but just as Jen said, her all is different from my all and from the gentleman in the panel. Exactly, not all and some.
Right.
Do we have any examples of how to answer that question? The question earlier, what does a man want versus what a woman wants?
Say again.
Do we have any examples of of answering the question? Like, say if we were on a first date and you would ask me, what do you want? And then how I would answer that, or how Damien would answer that, or how the other two gentlemen would answer that, or vice versa.
Yeah, mine is different. Mine is specific. You know what I mean? I'm a very tailored person.
Good question. But how would you answer it, Damien, Ron?
All right, I'll go first. I need a high IQ woman. That's the first thing I need. You know what I mean? I get bored easily. You know what I mean? I'm not looking for a sparring partner, but I don't want a yes woman. I don't want a yes woman.
Big Truck?
What was the question exactly?
You're on a first date with a woman. Yeah, eating your steak, and she's like, "What do you want? What do you want in a woman? What do you want in a relationship?"
I like with the chicks that I'm with. I've never really sat down and actually had that discussion. It's because I prefer to just just let things just like naturally flow and everything. So basically, if she were to ask me like, what do you want? Like, I just simply say basically what you are. That's why I'm here on this date with you. Otherwise I wouldn't be there. And I know what she wants. Well, hey, listen, the chick that I'm with, I mean, we're very happy. She hasn't left or cheated or anything. We go on vacations and stuff. I just took her to Maldives. So, we had a nice vacation, everything. It's first of all, I guess maybe it's just because of where we are, because we're here in New York, so you automatically know that when you're dating certain types of people, you already kind of have a good idea what their background is or kind of what they expect. So that's just me. I mean, I've never really had to have that discussion directly, I if she were to ask me, I'd be like, okay, yeah, well, listen, I want to get married, I want to have children, and if I were to have that discussion like that, but
yeah, that was the question.
Yeah, I mean, because I already have houses, so it's not like here in New York, it's really hard to just get a damn apartment right now. I have houses, so she's not missing a place to sleep. She's got a roof over her head. I got cars, so that's not a problem. It's it's not that hard a discussion. I don't know.
Thank you, Sherelle. Thank you, Sherelle. No, I don't do coffee dates. Absolutely not. This motherfucker did a 5-hour stream on me because he was offended because I said I wouldn't do coffee dates. He was a bum.
You know what? I think coffee dates are the best, Jen, because then you really could be like, all right. Right. You're not obligated. Then with dinner, it's kind of like you kind of know if you're ready, if you want to do that after dinner. But coffee dates are pretty cool because you can kind of assess from there. But nah, I don't think this is going to keep going after this.
Salute to you, Mama. I'm not doing
obligated
coffee.
to too much time.
I'm not doing coffee.
I'm not doing coffee.
Somebody's got to hit her with a smoothie date. That's all.
I ain't doing no coffee date.
That's better. I don't drink coffee. But I'll say this. Before I go on a date with a guy, I've never in life gone on a date with a man before at least vibing with him a bit. So I'd never put myself in a position, whether it's coffee or steak, to go on a date and I don't know what this guy's vibe is like. And then I'm stuck there not that I would be stuck there, I'd fucking walk out. But I would never go on a date with a guy that I didn't vibe with, spoke on the phone a couple times, text a couple times, maybe spoke on social media and what have you. So I wouldn't put myself in that situation where it's like, oh, I'm on this date now and this dude is lame. I at least have to kick it with you a couple times on the phone and things like that before I even go. I guess that's why I'm not into the coffee dates. I guess that's for like people that it's a fly by night. Hey, let's have some coffee, and they haven't kicked it yet. I understand, but I'm not. I
For
can't.
me, it's more
That
so
no,
that
that's a safe zone, Jen. That's a
even
safe
after
zone
you
because
sit on the phone and talk, that you actually get to meet the person in person and actually feel their vibe in person and know right away how the chemistry. Like to me, it's a chemistry click. Like for
yeah,
example,
exactly.
when I answer the question, I say what I want in a relationship is 3 C's: chemistry, compatibility, and consideration. And chemistry, you'll find that out right away. You can find that out over the phone. Obviously, there's a level of chemistry there.
On the phone.
There's a deeper level of the chemistry that's in person. That my presence and your presence makes a difference. And right away, we'll know. And right away, I'm not about to waste my time and sit with you if I know that I didn't get the click. So I'm going to move around and not be around you at that point. Politely, obviously, I'm not about to make you waste your time and come out and not show you a good time to a certain degree. But I know when I'm getting like sister vibes from somebody, whereas I'm getting, oh, this is my chick vibes from somebody. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So for me, like the coffee date is like could easily progress into a dinner or a lunch or a walk in the park or something from there. Where if I'm taking the time out of my day for that hour or so, or 2 hours or 3 hours, that I know that within that first half hour, it was worth progressing to another stage. And a lot of times that's
a new thing. Like, and too many men are using it. Here's what I don't like about the coffee date, the way it was presented to me on that panel that I was on. These motherfuckers don't want to spend money on women. They think women are expendable, right? They think women should be around them. They think that they're so valuable that you should be grateful that he's offering you a fucking cup of coffee. Like, if I'm going to date, it's going to be a date. It's going to be a date, and I already have some sort of chemistry with you. And it's true, you can find out chemistry on the phone. I've been on the phone with some people, and it's like it's crickets.
What restaurant would you have him take you to?
It depends. I don't know. I would.
Okay. No, wait. You said if I go on, you said if I go on a date, you said it's going to be a nice date, and you're going to spend some money. So, what restaurant chain or whatnot?
If he's asking me, I've asked men out on dates. Okay, I've done some pretty nice dates for men. If he's asking me, he should have a really nice spot, know where to get some really good steak or whatever is on it, whether it's freaking, a steak or a date at the Met or an opera or a concert, or he should know if he's asking me.
Now, here's one quick question. When you go out for that date, do you dress up?
Hell fucking yeah.
Now show me a photo of your dress up for your dinner date.
What type of shit?
Yeah, I
dress
know.
Up is dress up. You're going to be looking cute. Try to make your impression.
And I asked her, does she have a dinner date photo?
I have tons of dinner date photos, but I'm not going to
pick a good one.
My Instagram. I don't know.
What's your Instagram? I'll look real quick.
OnTheBlockWithJen.
Oh, okay. That's kind of easy.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Sorry. I usually take them to Fogo de Chao or to like sushi restaurants.
Everybody talks about Fogo de Chao.
But you know what? You know what it is? It's the environment. It's like you go in there, you get a little bit of salad, and then they come serve you, and it's nice and comfortable. It's very nice.
Who said it was corny?
People who don't want to spend $60 a person. That's all.
It's
nope.
corny.
I've done it. I've done it several times.
Okay.
I'm playing. I don't think it's corny, but it's not like. I just wanted to make a point. I don't think it's corny. I wasn't trying to play you like that. Really?
Don Levon says, how much
what happened?
Would I expect a guy? Don Levon said, how much would I expect a guy to spend on a first date? I don't have.
There was one special thing I did
$50 on a date.
Do for somebody on a first date, and we clicked so much on the phone. I decided to do it for her. I made sure to get a table at not a well known spot, but I knew they had a piano. And when we went there, we had dinner and so on and so forth. And after we ate, we had a nice time. I played the piano for her.
You play piano?
Yeah, I play 3 instruments.
Oh shit!
You're
Your
so
stock just
romantic.
went up.
Exactly.
Ladies, you hear that, ladies?
Women also
that-
like the intellects, and they like the diversity of men, and especially, if you have that I guess other, like you just said, you can play 3 instruments. It's not just about money. Like what you just said is high value to me. It's not just
Well, that's
money.
wonderful.
That would be really nice.
Yeah,
It's like you
good.
could pull out your piano and say, "Hey, let me play a song for you." Like that would be so cool.
Yeah, so it's not I think, it's not a money thing. I will take a freaking date, a picnic, but he has to fucking have some consideration. Think about it. You know what I mean? Be
Y'all just made it a
interested.
money thing, though.
Huh? I didn't hear you.
Y'all just made it a money thing. Even the whole chat's talking about the money. I'm like, dang,
listen to what I
I'll
said.
spend less than $50 on a date and think that's a great deal. And I'll
Listen to what I said. I said I don't
Maybe I wasn't
like
listening.
when I don't like when the coffee dates are presented by these assholes that just say I'm not on women.
The last time,
No,
I very rarely have gone out on coffee dates because to me, like I like to keep the conversation moving. But I went out on one. We went to Starbucks, and you know how like you sit in Starbucks or something, and most people have like computers or something, right? But we sat there, and I was playing chess with this chick, and I whipped her ass. But we had a great time.
Oh, I was gonna say to your point earlier.
It's not about the money. Be creative. You know what I mean? It's not like I think it'd be dumb to have a set number. Like he got to spend $500 on me on third date. You know what I mean? It depends. I've been on helicopter rides. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's fun too.
I've been, to Coney Island. It has to be creative. I feel it's cheap. Let's go on a coffee date in case I don't like you. No, fuck off. Let me save you your $5 at Starbucks. How about we don't go anywhere? See, you happy, I'm happy. We separate. I don't like that attitude that men have now.
Yeah, I hear what you say.
I'll do a coffee date after me and you are already involved. Hey, babe, let's go get some coffee. Let's go. You know what I mean? And not as a first date.
I mean, for men and women, if you're looking at this as like purely transactional, then you look at the cost of that date and you're just trying to budget your way into something that should have a natural flow to it. And on the woman's side, you're looking at it like, well, I don't really know how you're looking at it from the woman's side, but it appears like y'all looking at it like y'all just want more of the experience of a date more so than what it costs. And I feel like more people understood that it wouldn't matter if it was a coffee date or not. It would matter if there was consideration. What are my 3 C's that you put into the time that you was going to spend with that person?
I mean, that's beautiful. It's like I would take a coffee date. It's like, hey, like he took me to some exotic coffee house because he heard I like caramel, and these people have caramel flown in from the Philippines, and it's like you're gonna love this coffee. Like it had to be a hell of a coffee date.
That sounds expensive.
You know what I mean? It has to. It can't just be like, let me take her to Starbucks in case I don't like her. I just spent $4. Fuck off.
Starbucks is like $20 a person.
I don't drink
you want
coffee.
a $60 coffee, Jen?
Huh?
You want a $60 coffee?
I want a $60 coffee. We lost Damien. Damien left. I didn't even see him leave.
I think the most expensive date I'd gone on was it was $175 per person to go to Le Grenouille in Manhattan. It's one of those French restaurants. Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. See, look, there's that coffee date equals meet and greet. That's how I see that. Like, hey, let's grab some coffee.
So to be fair, Jen, because like I hear what you're saying, but for me, because safety is also an issue. So if I'm vibing with the person and with the guy and it seems cool, we're vibing on the phone or social media, that meet and greet, like the coffee thing, is still kind of like being in a safe zone, because dinners, it almost puts this kind of, you might have to put out. So it's like all these expensive restaurants, like ladies, if you're not ready for that, but you're looking for a man to be this high value person with this money, be prepared. You might have to put out that night. So there's expectations with that. That's why the coffee thing is safe, because it's like, you know what, I'm not obligated to put out. I'll just get some coffee. If I like you, maybe the next date that might happen.
I feel bad for any woman thinking that after she eats some bread and some steak, she got to put out. Ladies, do not go out anywhere with anybody, okay? For any reason, if you think you have to put out after a steak. And you men who think that way, I always say, that I told that guy that I got into it about the coffee, I told him, motherfucker, get a prostitute for $20, $40. You can get a really cheap prostitute that's walking the beat, right? Because what men are doing then is saying, well, let me pay for it. If you want a woman to put out after a steak, then what you wanted is a prostitute, and you're just trying to use steak instead of money. Just use money and stop wasting time. That's what I told that guy. I was like, stop wasting time. Why are you acting like you want the company of a woman? What you want is ass, and men that want ass pay for it. So why are you wasting time? Why are you wasting this woman's time? Like, that's the corniest shit I ever heard. Like, put out. I'm safe in a restaurant. Like, it's a public place or whatever. No coffee.
So how do you feel about that story that had come out that where they showed a reporter showed that women were using men for food dates and they had no intention whatsoever of having sex with them?
Well, it works both ways.
Losers.
It works both ways. But again, it's like, I hate when men are treated like babies, like children. They have no discernment. You didn't know that a woman's not vibing with you.
These guys are playing PlayStation 5 to their 40. They're not healthy.
I'm like, it's crazy to me how men rule the world and they're tough. And it's like, you don't know, you can't tell when a woman's not really into you.
That's called digital autism. That's called digital autism.
Only a few men rule the world, Jen. The rest of them, they just kind of bump into each other.
The rest of them just live in it.
Yeah, they just kind of bump into each other.
PlayStation 5 makes a difference to whether or not you.
Yeah, it does make a difference because these dudes aren't out there talking to women and they don't get the vibe. They call it digital autism.
Why are you talking about them playing PlayStation?
Because
5?
what I'm saying is that these dudes are like children sitting in their bedroom playing in their mama's basement Xbox and PlayStation until their late 30s. It's not.
The more you say it, the more it sounds like you have personal.
The more I say it, because I think it's a problem in this society where the men aren't men. They don't know how to do men things, and the women are picking up on it, and they don't want to behave. They don't want to work with these guys because they're not getting what they want either. So the women are like, well, why should I give you what you want if you're not doing what I need you to do? You're busy playing a goddamn video game.
There's a platform that literally.
I don't think you feel they're playing video games.
Jen, do you have a problem? Jen, do you have a problem with what I'm saying?
I don't.
Yeah. I didn't think you would. I'm sorry. What'd you say? I'm sorry. What'd you say, Jen? Jen, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Like the whole video game thing is just not my thing. It's just not.
Yeah, I know. And why? No, Jen, why isn't it your thing? Why? Why isn't it your thing? Why?
Nothing wrong with it.
No, there's something wrong with it because it's not your thing. Why?
Okay, but it's nothing wrong with it if you're making money doing it. But
okay,
it has to be your hobby.
Okay.
Like, I'm like, there's so many things to do outside. I would feel weird, like coming home and you got the headset and it's just not my thing.
Exactly. What and why do you?
It's not my
now, a dude who's sitting there, the chances are you're not dating an esports gamer. Chances are you're not dating a dude who's making $1 billion playing on esports. Chances are it's a regular dude who's sitting there while there's stuff that needs to be done in the house that a man is supposed to be able to do, but he can't do any of it because he's sitting there playing Madden. It's disgusting.
As opposed to playing chess.
Yeah, well, I took her out to play chess, and she liked to play chess. She doesn't want to sit there playing freaking Madden 2020 or whatever.
Chess is not the same thing. Chess is not the same thing.
So, Jen, it looks like I struck. Jen, I'm sorry, Jen. It looks like I struck a nerve there. Sorry. Sorry, Jen. It looks like I struck a nerve. But the women know what I'm talking about. The ladies know what I'm talking about because they know that there's men things that men are supposed to be doing, but they're busy playing video games and not doing men things.
I play chess.
No, there's a platform that is far worse than video games.
Actual people. I play
Okay,
on.
Yeah, me
this
too.
is crazy.
While we're sitting here, I was playing with some people in the background. That's why I was so quiet. I was whipping ass.
Sounds like a video game.
Yeah. But guess what?
Sounds like that personal
When
experience I
you're
thought you had.
old, you're supposed to be doing man things. I know how to build shit. I know how to fix parts of this house, of other houses, carpentry. But most men don't know. Most men don't know those things because their boys too long, and the women are the first to complain about it. I listen to what the women say, and Jen will tell you she doesn't want to see that because if she comes home from work, she expects the man to have done some kind of man thing. Now, if he's going to rest, that's one thing, but she doesn't expect to see some grown boy sitting there in his drawers in mama's basement playing video games. She expects you to be up there getting that money.
Real quick. Let me take this to Jen real quick. I see your point, but let me take this.
Good job, Jen.
So Jen comes home. Jen comes home and sees a. Jen also has experience with like a Pookie or something. She said or so whatever. But
Yeah, I mean I'm from the Bronx.
That plays the Bronx. I know.
Bronx is taking an L.
Nah.
It's just a lot of Pookies the way raised.
Like that. Nah. So you come home. Niggas playing video games in his drawers on the. There's a million things wrong with that. Why is he not coming home to you? Why are you working longer than he is if you're both working? Or if he's not working, whatever it is he's doing when you get there is a problem. It's not the video games that's gonna be a problem. The video games is what he's focused on. That's a matter of attention that he's not paying you. Like, because if you came home and he had all the attention focused on you, that'd be one thing, and he wasn't doing shit with himself. But if he comes home, he has to focus on something else, and that's a different thing, and that's where that's fucking up y'all relationship. Okay, I can see anything he's doing that doesn't serve you when you get home as. Okay,
but let me flip it on you real quick.
Go ahead.
I dated a guy, 8 figures, okay, mansion, okay. I didn't like him playing video games. I didn't like it. I'm like, I'm here. Let's do something. He was also 10 years younger than me. That may have been a factor, but I didn't like it. I'm like, let's go do some. Why are you there? Like, I expect my grandson to be, you know what I mean? Like I said, it's just not my thing. I know a lot of guys do it. They're into it. I just like seeing men do other things. It's just my thing. And
what would he have been doing differently that you wouldn't have felt a way about? If you don't mind.
But listen, don't get hung up on Jen and what Jen likes and what what Jen doesn't like, because there are a million women out there that would take you with your Madden game and buy you more.
Yeah, their mom.
It doesn't matter what I don't like. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I don't think. Like, don't feel the ways. Do not feel the ways, because I'm not gonna feel the ways about what you want in a woman. I'm not gonna feel the ways if I don't qualify.
I haven't played Madden since 2014, I think, or 2012, maybe even.
Huh?
I haven't played 2K. I played 2K. Whatever the last 2K football game was, the last time I played football.
But it doesn't matter if you play it after you log off. It doesn't matter, because a woman's gonna take it and love it and suck your toes after. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. It's just not I like to see men doing things.
I understand. That's why I asked my question. Not to make the focus on you, but like what like, to me, I believe that if it's not if you're not paying attention to the woman herself, the woman feels like it's taking away from her to some degree, and she has a tolerance level for what that is. So for you, video games at the bottom of the list. If a nigga's playing video games when you walk in, it's just like, oh, hell the fuck no. But if a nigga's like, I don't know, just came from playing tennis or something, you'd be like, well, all right, at least he's active, and you have like a certain leeway with that. And different women have different versions of that. And I was asking you, like, when you say you want to see men doing other things, that doesn't really get too specific. Like, a nigga could be like, oh yeah, well, other things could be a wide range of things. You walk in, he's painting his nails, and you just like, this fat. I mean, my bad. It's
just not my thing. Like, I have nephews, I have a grandson. I'm used to seeing them do that. So it's like, I don't want to see my 40-some-year-old man doing that. Like, that's
because it looks childish, doesn't it? It looks childish.
Yeah, I don't like the visual. And my father was super masculine. He was damn near a tyrant. He was very manly, always, you know what I mean, very physical person, in the gym, building shit, owned the garage and buildings. And, you know, he cut a freaking, we had a Bronx apartment. He turned the living room into a fucking gym. He cut a hole in the wall. So we had a walkway. So I'm used to a certain type of thing. It's just my background. And I don't like it. I buy, you know, games for my nephews and my grandson. And, you know, so I'm just different. But again,
it sounds masculine to me. I don't know.
Huh?
I mean, I get that there's the age thing, but even you saying that you buy it for your nephews, your grandson, like it sounds like you buy it for boys, like
Yeah.
guys people who are going to grow up to be men, people who are going to grow up to work with things.
Yes.
And
Now
that
it's
even if
different.
they play video games and worked on cards, they'd have a lot of the same fundamental understanding of how those things work.
But it's like Big Chuck said. If he's, what did you call them? What do you call the guys that play and they make a lot of money? What is it?
Esports gamers.
Yeah, that's different. That's a fucking career. That's different. That's like, this is what you do. This is your job. This is your hustle. That's the only way it wouldn't bother me. That's the only way.
I think that worrying about video games and gamers and so on and so forth, I think that's bullshit. I really think that that's something that really people really shouldn't be concerned with. I think the real problem that people don't often discuss is the goddamn porn consumption.
The what?
Okay, a porn consumption. These young men, and then these issues with. No, I'm serious. Like this shit is really, it's really a major problem. It causes ED in a lot of these young kids. You know what I mean? And one of the main, and think about it for a second. Think about this for a second. If you can just type up any beautiful woman that you can jack off to, you're training your brain to think that it's easy for you to access any beautiful woman that you want to at, you know what I mean, at any given time. That's one of the reasons why you got motherfucking salamander dudes jumping in your DMs, Jen, because it's like, hey, I can actually do that with anybody else. Why can't I do that with Jen? So there's a lot of medical stuff going on with, you know what I mean, porn consumption that people don't really actually talk about. And it's actually robbing these young men of their ability to be motivated. It's robbing them, it's causing testosterone issues. This is stuff that you can actually look up. So, yeah, you know, I understand the concern about, you know, video games and so on and so forth. But that's the least of everyone's problems when it comes to these young men.
Y'all gonna get really mad. Let me tell you something. Let me take it further. Y'all gonna get really mad. I don't even like a man that's heavily into sports.
I agree with you. I agree with you because they're just sitting there. They're just sitting on the couch watching this stuff, sitting on the couch, and it's no different than play. Jen, I'm totally with you on that. I totally hear what you're saying. I totally hear.
Like that bothers me. You sitting on your ass watching these millionaires run around.
Exactly.
That even I don't even want. I listen and dudes are. It's like they live vicariously through these. I can't. I'm like, what about you? What do you?
I don't know. Do you watch movie? You said you watched The Devil Wears Prada. I've never seen that movie in my life, but I could watch a football game and feel like that storyline of the storyline that's happening for a football game beats whatever the hell Devil Wears Prada is about.
Well, I took my girlfriend to see this movie.
Sports. Why would I watch that when I could watch The Devil Wears Prada?
I took her on a date to see this movie.
Man is gonna say that.
So Jen, what happened was she wanted to see this movie. Originally, I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to see the movie, right? She wanted to go on a date to see the movie. I took her to see the movie. I loved the movie. And I also liked Meryl Streep, and I believe it was Anne Hathaway. And the thing about it was, I wasn't expecting to care. Like, you know what another movie like that was? House of Gucci. We were on the plane. She wanted to watch the movie. I didn't want to watch the movie. I watched it. I loved it. So the thing about it is,
most men. That's funny because that's how most, believe it or not, that's how most men discovered Devil Wears Prada. They didn't want to see it, and then they got sucked in. I'm telling you, Foxy, watch Devil Wears Prada. It's amazing. Like the story.
Like when she wants to go on a date to see a movie, I take her and we'll go and we'll watch a movie. And usually the thing that I made a mistake with, I took her to see like Black Hawk Down, and she hated it. And you know, I'm not going to tell you what she did. I'm not going to tell Black Hawk Down. It was about the Somalian Mogadishu attack on America. But anyway, I'm not going to tell you what she was doing for the rest of the movie while she was ignoring the movie. But let's just say that she wasn't watching it and I was. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't really like chick flicks like that. I'm more into horror and action. And I bought 2 tickets because I'm a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan. And so I had bought 2 tickets, and I was trying to go with my date at the time, but he flaked out. So I took my husband instead, and we had a great time. So yeah, we had issues, me and my husband. Even though there's 27 years together, there's still,
wait a minute, your date, wait, I was like,
yeah. But that was one of the times that we weren't together.
Okay.
But
did y'all make up after that game?
Oh yeah, man.
See?
It was awesome.
We scheme on y'all too, okay? I had an ex. I was like, I got 2 tickets front row to Earth, Wind, and Fire. If you want to come, I just got an extra ticket. I smashed that night.
Right? Yeah, we came back home because we went out to MetLife because Steelers was playing against Giants. Steelers lost, and then we went to the bar, but we were getting smacked all the way out there, like on the train ride and coming back home. We got smacked. Went to a bar, got even more lit, and then went home and just did the damn thing. But I feel like women, we have to incorporate men into what we like and vice versa. And the only reason why I really got into the football was because my husband was into, sports and basketball and stuff. And now I'm even worse than he is. He's got to shut the door because I'm screaming at the TV. I'm throwing stuff at the TV. I'm mad at the, so we have to embrace that. And the more that we say we don't like each other and we hate each other, it's like, you'll find that there's common denominators when you remove the money situation out of it and you just enjoy the person for who they are. It makes life smoother. And I'm coming from a place where we didn't have money. Like my whole family was blue collar workers. They worked for New York City Transit. They worked for New York City Parks Department. None of them were in, white collar and corporate. So I grew up seeing just us making it and getting by, and we were still happy with that. It's now that society has changed and social media is putting this glorification on these, hoochie mamas and showing them that they can shake their behinds and do all this stuff, and dudes is into that. It's like there's no value behind that. There's empty space. You're talking to deadheads, and you're gonna be sad.
You gotta like what that you would have to like what I like. Like in regards to like football. If I like football and you like football, then it helps. But if I like football and you don't like football, then you could maybe look away and not pay attention as much. You're probably gonna like it less, but I don't think it's the same thing for guys. I don't think you can like watching chick flicks and I gotta be I like watching chick flicks guy, and then now we're a happy couple. To me, that
I don't know about chick flicks.
add up.
I don't know about chick flicks. Maybe other hobbies, but women don't even want men to be in chick flicks like that.
Right.
I used to win those on bets. I used to tell my man, okay, if I win this bet, you gotta watch a chick flick. But I didn't want him to like watching chick flicks. That's a rare thing.
You want him to torture him? Who are you?
Yes. That's the only way to get him to do it. It's like, if I win this bet, you gotta watch it.
I don't negotiate my comic book movies. My comic book movies, I don't negotiate with anyone over that.
See, but I like comic book movies.
Yeah, those are dope too. The first movie that my husband and I watched.
Hell yeah, it matters, Don Levon. Don Levon said you just saw a deer and a horse and you loved it. So simple shit matters. Hell yeah, it matters. When you're with somebody that you vibing with, that's the key.
Right. My husband, I had our first movie date was Planet of the Apes, and that was on me because I wanted to watch that. And we were so high. He was like, I can't believe you have me watching this 3-hour movie. He never seen it before. And I was like, but we were high. So we were like just gigging off of it and having a good time. But, he'll never watch it again. But the fact that he knew that I liked it, and he was like, you know what, I'll just give it a try and just sit through this. Like, he made it fun. He made it more enjoyable.
You got to compromise. You don't have to be a fanatic of the thing, but you have to compromise. All right, guys, we're coming up on 3 hours. I loved this panel. Foxy, I thank you so much, because the women don't come up. The women like tearing
Foxy,
shit up.
you got to come back. You got to come back.
Thank you. I appreciate that offer. Thank you.
Thank you to the ladies in the chat. You got your wrenches now, so you could kick these motherfuckers right through the block uprights. Do not play with them. If they get disrespectful, If you want a wrench, let me know. Just drop a comment. I don't care who has a wrench. Just
Me.
Just as long as y'all control the.
Me. When I go live, I'll invite you. I'll do the same for you.
Okay, thank you. This was a great one, and again, we got out unscathed. Nobody's bleeding. Nobody got their feelings hurt, I hope. What's up, Juana? All right, guys, so we're out. Leave us with your last thoughts. What do you think about how men are treating women online? I know a couple of people said no, they don't hate women. Then what's this vitriol all about? Foxy, you first. Ladies first.
Oh, thank you. Again, salute to you, Jen. Keep up the good work because you are breaking down doors. I saw the situation that you had with that other guy that's a YouTuber, and you held it down. And I agree with you 100% because that person was talking in loopholes. But anyway, the last remark is that we all have to do our part in regards to what it is that we value. First and foremost, we should value ourselves and not compromise in a way where we're degrading ourselves and bringing ourselves down just for the thrill or feel of money. And that's pretty much it, because at the end of the day, like Mr. Samuel said, you'll die alone. Well, we're all gonna die alone. That's a known fact. Unless you do a suicide and you're both going out together. Other than that, yes, you are gonna die alone. And to the gentleman on the panel, thank you so much for allowing me to speak as well. And Jen, salute to you again. Good night.
Thank you.
I was
Good
happy to
night.
have you.
Who's next, guys? What do you think? Thank you for
I didn't go
the super chat, Don LeBon, coming in with the last super chat of the night. Thank you, sir. Salute to you. Writer artist says, women and all, get yours. Haters gonna hate. What do you guys think? Why do men hate women, or do men hate women, or they just talking shit online?
I'll say, well, before I leave, I'll say thank you, Jen, for having me. And also thank you, truck driver, for being a good sport with going back and forth. But on the
I'm sorry. No, that's just my name. I don't actually drive trucks.
Well, I didn't know what your name was. I just heard her say truck driver, so I just went with it. But on the topic, when it comes to online, there's a very thin line between love and hate. And it's because if they can't get it, then they hate it. If they could get it, then they would love it. Honestly, so I don't take it too seriously. I just take it as, all emotions need a place to go somewhere. And if you can't take it out on the girls in person, or you're too scared, or you're not able to, or you're not socially aware, then it just happens online. And online is also a place where you can express yourself to your, to no consequence. So it comes out exponentially online versus in real life, because in real life, you're not going to see guys trying to actively talk about women to their face like this without fear of some type of reaction. I just preach being honest about how you feel and like actually understanding what it is that you're feeling so that you can articulate it well enough. The problem is most of these guys don't have that social ability, and they don't know how to practice it in a what do they call it when you're like socially conscious or whatever, social justice warrior. In a world where it's more about social justice, it's hard for people to actively, test the boundaries of what they can and can't express in real life. So one side, I understand where they're coming from. The other side, there's no excuse but to man up and actually learn how to, build your social skills so that you can talk to women that will appreciate you for what it is that you have to offer, instead of the bashing. But then also, women ain't shit. So
what the fuck? Get out!
Some not all. Some not all. Some not all. How about that?
Okay. Wait, Sherelle coming in with the last super chat of the night. Thank you, Sherelle. She says, love you, Jen. Watch your journey. Happy to see you come out on top. Keep winning. Thank you. That means so much to me. Sherelle been through the trenches. She done seen the bullshit. She's seen it. Salute, lady. Haran, what say you?
You know what I'm gonna say, man. Brothers need to a lot of brothers just need to really just work on themselves, man. There's just a lot of projecting, a lot of just a lot of what can I call it? Just wild expectations. Put it this way, man. If to your point, Jen, and to the point of Damien, do not ask if you're going to ask someone to if you're going to expect someone to live up to a particular standard or perform at a particular standard, you should be side by side with them or above them. You shouldn't be below this particular person asking for them to perform at a particular standard, because technically they're performing at a standard that's above you. So you should be the one actually, improving yourself and so on and so forth. And I just think that overall, just the internet is just creating this environment, especially the manosphere. I think the manosphere is just creating this environment where it's not necessarily concentrating on male development, personal male development, and it being about, and in a lot of ways it just sounds like it's being more so about how to attract women and being the better version of yourself so you can attract women. It really shouldn't be about that, man. It should really be about you actually working on being the better version of yourself for yourself. For yourself. When you understand that, you reach a certain level in your life where you are comfortable in your own skin and you are just a master of your aura and your energy and how it feels when you walk into a room, people notice that. People feel that. And you, ironically, that same, desire and want that they tell you that you are trying to pursue when it comes to women, they'll feel that on you. It's the one thing that I do know: women don't like needy men. And if you walk into a room and you a man and you don't and you have this aura around you that you don't need any motherfucker in there, they find that shit sexy.
We do.
And that's it.
Thank you, Haran, and thank you for bringing the topic for today, because you definitely jumped this off with that lady, whether it was satire or not. Big Truck Series, what say you, sir?
Okay, well, thank you again for the topic, and I really appreciate the perspective that you bring. I think you also know I followed you on IG or whatever.
Thank you.
My thing is, as far as this manosphere content, I really think it's just like I started out. I don't think men hate women. I think that these dudes are, for the most part, just upset that they don't have control of them. And ultimately, that lack of control is creating a situation that they call anomie. And it's where the normal societal norms, when you're outside of it, it's just like you feel like you're outside of society and that you cannot relate to what you'd normally be able to relate to, or at least what you believe that you should. So honestly, I do think that what you're alluding to, I think it's going to get worse. I think Fresh and Fit, for example, are terrible, how should I say, examples of men and women, how to treat women. But the problem is this kind of feeds on itself, and you've got this echo chamber. And it's just like I'll be really quick. When I rail against these dudes who are staying at home playing video games, and even like you say, sitting on their ass watching sports, the problem is that they're not talking to women, they're not relating to women, they're not meeting people, they're just sitting inside, the shades are drawn and everything, and they're just the place is probably filthy, but they need to, just like the last dude said, work on themselves. They need to relate to other people more. They need to get out there and they need to talk to people. And I think a lot of that's just not happening. And I think that's the reason why the situation looks like it's bad, and it looks like it's definitely getting worse. So I would just say a lot of these people need to shut down the computer and log off. So again, thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Big Truck. I wish they would. I wish they would log off and shut the fuck up. Unfortunately, That's not gonna happen, like you said, because they're like bugs. They're multiplying. But I love my panels because I think you guys really do bring a nice balance to these maniacs. Some of them are unhinged maniacs. So it's not just critique. Some of them, there's a lot of vitriol. There is a lot of hate. But I don't believe at all that all men hate women or vice versa. Like I said, off of YouTube, all of us, well, on this panel and in the chat, we all live, except for the trolls, we all live our normal, happy, content lives, right? That's how I see it. That's what I hope for everybody. So thank you guys for joining me. This one was fun. Let's do it again. They're getting more and more fun. Please come back. Use your wrenches wisely. Don't let anybody get crazy. I'm not attached to them trolls, so if they get out of hand, feel free to kick them through the block uprights. I don't care. We're here to learn and teach and have conversations. We don't always have to agree, and we don't always agree. And guess what? We're not supposed to. You heard it here first. We're not supposed to agree all the time. All right, guys. So with that, I will bid you adieu. Have an amazing night. Let's do this again mañana.
Good night.
Good night. All right, guys, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe on your way out. If this is your first time here, thank you. I hope you enjoyed. Let people know about the show. My panel is always open for dialogue, rebuts, feedback. I'll let anybody up. You don't have to agree with me, okay? You're not supposed to agree with me, right? We're not joined at the hip. So thank you. Thank you, Sherelle, for coming through again. All right, guys. Thank you, lovely ladies. I'm so happy when you're in the chat. I'd be even happier if you came up with me so I could cut through the men that are here, okay? These men be talking a lot of shit. All right, guys. So I will see you guys. Good night. Love you all. Hit that like and subscribe for me, please. And don't forget, leave a comment. If you're catching this late, you're not catching this live, leave a comment because it helps me in the algorithm. It doesn't have to be a sentence. You can just leave a thumbs up, a wink, a happy face, a heart, whatever. But your comment will keep me in the algorithm. All right, so let's do this. Good night. Have a good one.